up and asking them for the max, and they putting the experience to the test. So if
I
you
would
know you ain't got
say
no experience, take what they take it and then just grow within.
I would say if you have no degree,
Yeah, I don't got no degree.
but
Leverage
you
it.
have hella experience, you can leverage your experience.
That's a
Yeah.
fact. Leverage the hell out of it.
Because
And
when they be like, oh well, we kind of had a preference for a degree, that's when they try to lowball you. Like, no, 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 no.
yep.
Yeah, you could. That's what
No.
I'm saying. You could leverage your experience, but if you ain't got none, you just get in that motherfucker. And you know what I'm saying? Fuck them up from the inside.
Hell
We're
yeah.
live. We're live.
What you say, CJ? What happened?
Who hit the live button?
I don't even know. I think it was probably Bino.
I can't.
Sorry.
My hand's been in my pockets the whole day.
I
I
ain't
ain't even
even
seen
see
my
it.
I think
hand.
it was automatic because you had already scheduled it.
No, I want no
Yep.
damn automatic.
It's not automatically done. It's not
Oh.
automatically done.
Welcome to the SPS podcast. You are now tuned in to the Raw Bunch. I'm your host and moderator, DJ Strada. And again, the Raw Bunch is in the building in full effect. SPS Raw Bunch family, what's good with y'all? What's up with it though?
What's happening?
Everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
Happy
I
Monday
mean, for the
evening.
first time today, I'm feeling good right now.
I mean, them Eagles won last night, so
That
yeah,
shit
we
was
here.
crazy. Yo, why did they do that? Why they do that, bro? I told my
It,
homie, though, my homie's an Eagles fan. I told him, and he reminded me, it was like week 10. I was like, bro, I think it's going to be y'all and the Chiefs. He was like, think? I was like, yeah. And I was like, then y'all going to dog walk him. He was like, huh? I said, nah, bro, it's going to get dark for him. He didn't believe me. I was like, nah, bro, it ain't going to be close type shit. But that play how that played.
Period.
man, the Eagles, man. If even they had a hell of a first half performance. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
been a while since I seen a team perform like their offense and defense, man. That shit, I ain't gonna lie. And I'm
They
a
beat
Cowboy
my,
fan, but they put in work.
nah, for real. Kind of nervous as a Niners fan. Like, next year might get dark for my homies, but, bang, bang, Niner gang shit.
Them Cowboy fans, they something different.
We'll beat up on y'all next year. Don't worry about it. We get to beat on the Super Bowl champs. That's gonna be a great feeling. That's why we're rooting for y'all. Bring it on back to our conference. I mean our division. Bring it back to our division so we can whoop on y'all ass while y'all be the defending champs.
Y'all stupid. Let's get to the show this evening, man. The title of the show is From Concerned Black Women, the State of Black Men. How did we get here? So, for the guests that's tuning in, first, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Secondly, again, this is a third part of a series we've been doing. Again, what I found is that throughout the community, right, from both men and women, it seems that people are having complaints and issues, right? Some of them valid, some of them not so valid. And what I'm finding is that based on where you are and experienced as a man and woman when it comes to dating, some of these issues are valid to some, others might find them a little bit hard to fathom, right? And so we found in the first show is that the differences between the men and the women, some of them we thought were valid, some of them we couldn't really find merit in, we kind of threw them out. But what we're finding is that we all are struggling with issues with the expectations we have for people versus how they show up. And so what this whole series has been about is trying to find ways to bridge the gap, right? So we're identifying the topics. What's going on, Sneak? We're identifying the complaints we got. We walking them down, and because we all intelligent men and women up here, right? We've been out in the world. We all touch grass. We trying to figure out like all the complaints valid, and what advice do we give to the people that might either have the complaint or be the person that you're being complained about. So, what y'all think so far about how we've been doing with the male one we just did the other week, and the both the male and female? What y'all think? Y'all think we've been doing a pretty good job covering this shit? Is it unrealistic? What's up?
I think for the most part, we've been doing a pretty good job trying to peel back the onions on everything.
You think we've been doing pretty dope with it though?
Yeah, I think we've been doing pretty good trying to peel back the onions on everything to try to get not just one side perspective, but getting the other side and trying to get the what, when, where, and why for everything. So I think we've been doing a good job for the most part.
That's real. One of the ladies, what y'all think? Y'all think that this has been productive? Do y'all think that people are getting any value from it? Like, do you think they understand the concerns? Where y'all at with it for as far as the ladies? We can't hear you, Saudi. Audio.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Oh, I was saying, I feel like the statements that were made last week or the week before, I feel like they were valid. So it definitely took like, it left you with a lot to think about.
I feel you. I feel you. I'm still trying to. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like maybe the way I worded it fucked me up, but just hearing complaint behind anything, it do make my ears tinge a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know if that's fair to the conversation of the people that have them, but like complaints, I don't know, bro. Like, is there
Yeah,
a better word?
I ain't a big fan of it neither.
Right.
It's probably a better word for real.
What they gonna
Like,
say besides complaints?
Concern.
Concerns?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know,
Because
bro.
yeah,
to
I don't
me,
know.
it's concerns when you initially bring it up and you kind of
Mhm.
try to ping it out to gain the understanding. But then
Yeah.
it's just complaints when it's just repetitive. And
Okay.
then it's
So,
bitching when it's being repetitive and you ain't even doing shit about it. You ain't done no
uh,
groundwork to even try to come to a solution to it.
okay. So would it be fair to say it's a concern when you think it's a problem? It's a complaint when you voiced it and the person ain't did it, and then you bitching when you ain't do nothing about it. Is that kind of how I walk down?
Yeah. Levels to that
That makes
shit.
sense. That makes sense. What you think, Jalen?
Mm,
We on the right track?
Yeah, so far.
Okay. Like I said, fellas, we had our soapbox, and we're gonna jump off it. Let the ladies get straight to it. So right off rip, I'm gonna go to the ladies first. With the complaints y'all have with men, right? Where you like where are you getting most of your experiences from? Is it from you, your homegirls, your friends? Like, is this stuff y'all see in mass with these complaints? Is it something that y'all experience with ex-boyfriends? Like, where do you think this list is coming from based on the way we discussing it?
I would say it's a mixture.
Mixture.
Mainly, I guess, past relationships. Sure.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think it's based off his personal experience.
Okay. Do you think men know how we do you think okay, let me ask this question better. How you all perceive men, right? Do you think the men are aware they're being perceived that way? Do
Yeah.
you think they know? You think they know?
Yeah, they know. They just don't agree with our assessment.
They just don't give a fuck.
Damn. Hey, fellas, let me ask y'all a question though. Like, have you ever heard your lady tell you something, like your old lady or one of your friends tell you something about yourself? You like, where the fuck that come from? Like, does it catch y'all off guard, or y'all be like, That's kind of right."
man, it been so long, I don't even remember.
What about you, CJ?
Because you said friends, people that know me,
Mm-hmm.
if they say something, it's usually like, yeah, that sounds about right. Because the people that know me, they know I don't fucking change for shit. So I've been me forever. So it's like when they say something, it's like, yeah, I can't argue with it because odds are they know exactly who I am. So they're like, or they'll predict some shit. They be like, I bet you did. I bet you said this, that, a third to him too, didn't you? Yeah, I did. I did. I ain't gonna bullshit you. So it
Yeah,
makes sense.
I feel you. No, I can understand that. Cause like you said, I'm be trying to get to the bottom of this shit. Like, fellas, so y'all riddle me this, right? When your old lady brings you something in a relationship, how do you normally try to hammer it out with her? Like, do you listen to what she's saying? Do you give it credence? Like, when's the last time, fellas, y'all heard some constructive criticism that you was like, all right, that makes sense. I probably need to work on that.
Yeah,
Give me an example of something.
y'all, CJ, you give him an example because I gotta think for examples. Like
Like you
I don't
good.
I don't let that shit sit on my mind after like ain't nothing
You
current I
said
can tell
based
you. My
off
nigga, you know what I'm saying?
you said getting criticism based off of a relationship.
Yeah.
And I'll probably say one time, I ain't gonna drop no names tonight. I think it was a little personal for them. But one time this individual was trying to address how they felt, how I speak, or how I was talking to her when I was trying to correct her on something. And I guess my tone was just so egregious, was just so aggressive that she got teary-eyed and got emotional in regards of it. I'm thinking, low-key, in the middle of us talking, I thought she was crying because she hit a toe on some shit. Whole time, it was literally because how my tone was, it got her tripped up or some shit. So we had to pause the main conversation just to talk about the fact that I gotta practice tone. I'm not one of your friends. You can't just talk to me. All right, god damn. Now I gotta talk to you like a fucking Care Bear or some shit. Fuck. Like,
Do
so
you
yeah, I
think
think that was one
the
time where that happened.
tone?
And y'all know me long enough to know, yeah, that sound like some shit.
I'm all right.
Like,
Yes, I'm all right.
100% accurate.
There's some
Like,
shit cut and dry. I think I got told before in a few relationships that I'm cold. Like they say I come off real monotone and shit, and I've heard it a few times. Right? I think that I don't know what the fuck it be. I think that maybe like they be talking to me on the phone, like we just be building and shit. Like it's real introspective and real dope. But like in person, I'm mad chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially when with my old lady or somebody in a relationship with, I don't really do a lot of talking and express. I'm not really a lovey-dovey dude. So, I've gotten told that a few times. Like, you come off cold. I don't be meaning no harm by that shit, but like, I don't know. I think my temperament is just so calm that it'll come off crazy as fuck. Like I don't give a damn, and it ain't that. Like I do be caring, right? Because I wouldn't be with none of the women if I didn't care about them when I was in the relationships. But I've been accused of being cold, and I agree with it. I think I can be like I got a switch where I can turn my emotions on and off and shit. And a lot of times it do just be on the off mode, yo. Like I don't know why I'm like that. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I've always just kind of been even keel. So I think it's valid though. I think it's valid.
True.
I just don't know how to be, bro. Like I saw another one of my homeboys, right? And he was saying like the old lady he with now, he's like, bro, he got to get used to being loved on because he ain't never had that shit. You know what I'm saying? But like he a grown ass man, been in a few relationships, but it's almost like maybe it's because we operate for so long without women, like on a day to day, that you get in your routine of shit, and so I don't know. I don't, bro. I have no fucking clue. But I've been struggling with that. Like, why is it I come off so emotionally monotone when I'm not?
So
Like, I don't
so
feel that way. I don't know, bro.
but but look though, is this one ex telling you this, or do y'all got more than one ex who have said the same thing?
I've had one. I've had a few exes tell me
I've only had one that did the crime part, but I've
that.
definitely had more than one that has told me like whatever I said to them, they understood what I was saying, but the
Mhm.
tone, I was like, you got me
Fucking
fucked
crazy.
up. Like you gotta calm down.
See, see,
So
see. With me, I think it might be like different S's that say different things because different S's will bring different things out of it.
Okay, what you mean?
Like
So, like, who you with?
might want to say might say like we were talking about the negative. One might say demanding. One might say mean,
Uh,
nonchalant. Depends.
yeah, I've gotten that. I've gotten nonchalant. Come off, but again, I think that them may just come off like you don't give a fuck, and it ain't that. I just don't know the other word for it. But what's wicked is that I feel like when I've been the most peaceful is normally when I get accused the most. Like we get asked that question as fellas, what's wrong? You good? I'm straight. Nothing. And literally don't be nothing, right? But I think that maybe my rest face or my thinking face be fucking up the vibe or something, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that it's valid. Like I try to get better at showing affection, right? Because I think that'd be a key thing too. Is that just that monotone shit? Like I know how to be expressive, but I think like just if we casually laying around the lounge, I don't really do a lot of expressing it. I'd be chilling. But I can see how that can get on a woman's nerves after a while. So I think that's a valid one that I've heard personally. So I think that's on the list. Ladies, are there any things like y'all listen to us talking? Y'all think we on to something? Y'all think our tone and our like emotions be fucked up in relationships?
I could contest to like the tone because I'm like a tone person, so it definitely be the tone for me.
Mm. Jalen, have you experienced those things while being with a man?
My initial relationships, yeah. I don't do well with being yelled at. I think it should never get to that point because I don't be yelling at virtually anybody, to be honest. People be telling me to speak up and shit, but me getting yelled at, that's a line for me. That's too much aggression from a man. I cannot deal with it. And I
Yeah,
refuse to because it could go off the deep end. So, yeah.
good for you. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I yelled at a woman about anything. I'm not a yeller, but I think that my tone I can still cut, but I don't do a lot of yelling and shit. But
I think it's just triggers, I guess. Triggers. Like, I didn't know I was stepping on a landmine, and then all of a sudden he's just out of pocket. And I don't even know what the fuck happened.
Yeah, I had triggers at one time for sure. Like that I ain't know was triggers though. So it's crazy because so some people turn into experiments for you. You learn about yourself through some people. That's some fucked up shit, that happens sometimes. Unfortunately, if you don't know yourself before you get into, since we're talking about it, relationships. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't know themselves before they actually click, into relationships, man or woman. But it's about, but that because it's funny that Jaden said that for sure.
yeah, do you think that?
Not even not knowing yourself, but just like not being completely over or having time to recover from like a past experience and trying to jump into another experience that you haven't fully dealt with. I
I
feel
Mm,
like
think
it
that's more.
can
I think that's more so for women. You feel me? But like on the men's side, like her saying something about men, and that could be for men too. But I'm just personally relating it to like you don't even know certain triggers until certain people fucking hit them triggers. Is what I'm saying. So it's like landmine. She just mentioned stepping on landmine. She ain't know what there. So it's like, I ain't know that landmine was there neither. You feel me?
mm. So you'll know until you experience the shit, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
no, and I'm agreeing with you. Like I agree
Absolutely.
wholeheartedly on that because I've been in a situation where like I thought I was over something
Hmm.
and that landmine or that trigger came and I'm like, damn. Now I see myself, getting out of character over something I thought I already dealt with, but I didn't.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to SPS the Raw Bunch, man. We're gonna get into these complaints. I'm gonna bring them up. We're not doing these stats. Like I said, we got a lot to cover, a lot of ground, a lot of areas. So I want to get the women's opinion and fellas again. It's gonna be our job to. We're gonna do two things tonight as men. We're gonna figure out which ones we think are valid based on what the women are saying. We're gonna allow the women to give us the context as to how they experience us, and then we're gonna try to help the fellas that suffer from some of these shits and try to get them some solutions and ways to deal with them. Sound fair? Everybody good?
Hmm.
All right, just trying to make sure the funeral's over with. Y'all left? Y'all good? They in the ground? Y'all good? Monday
As long as
blues?
I'm eating, man, I'm good right
I was
now.
about to say I'm sorry. I'm over here like CJ trying to feed my mouth.
Yeah,
I be
do your
wanting me some
thing.
food. I'm here though.
That's what it is, man. I think Monday be
I'm
having niggas
listening.
depressed and hungry. Let's get to it. Ladies' complaints. Men aren't emotionally available. They have a fair commitment. They have inconsistent effort. They lack of leadership and stability. They prioritize physical beauty over substance. They have poor communication skills, the lack of drive and ambition, infidelity and a lack of loyalty, preference of non-black women, the inability to handle independent women, financial instability or dependence, double standards in dating, overly influenced by their friends and society, lack of emotional support, and not healing from trauma. Lead us up for a second. I'm gonna go Saudi first and then Jalen. Just find one. I want you to find one that you can give more context behind. Because again, I kept these short for a reason. I wanted y'all to give us a context behind the complaint, right? So I want y'all to kind of give me, if you can, an example of what you mean by it and why it's so important to women. And we'll start with Saudi, and then we're gonna go to Jalen, and then fellas, we're gonna get some context behind it, and we'll see, um, how we can mine it out. Saudi, let me know when you got the one you want to speak to.
I guess I go like the lack of emotional support. Um, because sometimes I feel like with men, because they have to take that more dominant and leadership role, that
Mhm.
sometimes like their feelings aren't always taken into consideration. Um, so in return, they don't know how to express their emotions, nor do they know how to receive like a genuine person sometimes when they encounter them.
Okay. So do you think they support their women in a relationship? Or do you think they just have a trouble expressing how they feel about them? Which one do you think is more of?
I feel like it's more of the expression. I feel like the support sometimes outweigh the emotional aspect. And we are emotional. So it's like we feed off of like just more of like like I said earlier, like the tone and not being so aggressive and being able to communicate, you know.
Okay. Hmm. So do you think that nah, I'm not gonna ask that question because it's gonna sound like an excuse. What do you think men can do to show up better emotionally for the women? Let's try that question. I think I like that one better.
Um I guess just to indulge more into like why they don't feel like they can, I guess, communicate, or why they don't feel like, I don't know, honestly.
So you think if a dude told you why he was like emotionally unavailable, do you think that would help you understand him better, or do you think it would still be a valid complaint?
I think it would help me understand him a little bit better because like instead of me internalizing it and thinking like it's a me problem, I know, hey, it's not me. It's just something that he has to go through or like he's going through. So now instead of me trying to figure out, now it's me trying to figure out like what tools and resources that I can give him to help him instead of like, making it seem like it's about me and trying to figure out like, did I do something? Are you
Hmm.
sure? Or, like,
How much grace do you give a man if he give you the context? So, like, let's use an example, a real life example. Let's say, you know, you try to be lovey dovey, like, yo, I'm not used to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, where I'm from, we don't really get down like that. How many times do you think a man can get that off before you, as a woman, expect change behavior? Is it a time limit? Is it a number of times he does it? Is it like, all right, after 2 months, I don't want to hear that shit? Or is it like, all right, bro, this is the fifth time I done told you? Like, which one do you think is more of? Like, is it a time frame or is it a frequency? So is it how many, like after you asked him, like, yo, I need you to be a little bit more emotionally supportive or vulnerable. And he like, yo, this the reason. How long do you give him before it becomes a complaint for you?
I think it just depends on the person. Honestly, I feel like if someone tells you about something, I feel like you should take the correct steps to like correct it. Like I feel like it may not happen overnight, but I feel like they should definitely gradually see the change.
Yeah, so how long? I mean, I'm talking about from the woman's perspective, though.
I
Like,
don't feel like you could put a time for like it's not gonna happen overnight. Like for
okay,
instance, I'm a cursor. So if my partner comes in and says, "Hey, I don't like you cursing," he needs to know I'm gonna try to work on it, but nigga, it's not gonna happen like overnight. Like it's gonna gradually happen like over time, and over time that could take a month, it could take a couple months. Like it just depends, I guess, on the person.
No, I'm talking about for a woman. So let's use a average woman and an average man. She brings up the complaint of him not being emotionally available. He gives her the context. What do you think is the grace he should be given before the woman should expect
I
change
can't put
behavior?
I can't put a time frame on that. I feel like
Even
it's
as a woman.
like
So when would it frustrate you in a relationship?
it would frustrate me if I never see the change. So if I never see the change, like I guess within a couple months.
Okay. So in a couple
21
of
days
months.
form a habit. So
Okay. So you got
you
like
talk
21 days to show some level of progress.
at least like a month.
Okay. That's fair. I like that. I like that. So what you're saying is it's not the number of times he messes it up in the 21 days. It's just that if after 21 days, he should be showing some signs of being a little bit more emotionally open.
Yes, I feel like the growth is necessary. So I feel like as long as he shows growth, um, then I'm willing to quote unquote compromise. Once the growth stops, then it's like it's nothing else that I can do.
Oh, that brings me to a good question. Now, ladies, when it comes to these complaints, right? Let's say you don't see a change. What do most women do? Like, do they stay and keep bringing it up? Do they leave? Like, what really happens?
I'm I'm about to choke over here. I'm gonna let Jayla answer that.
Jalen, what's up?
I think most of them try to stay as long as they can to stick it out.
Mm.
I agree.
Especially if they're married. Definitely. From anecdotal experience, knowing married people, they definitely try to stay and stick it out. But when there's no sign of like improvement, you have no choice. It's either you're going to conform to whatever he's trying to set as a baseline, or you leave because you can't deal with it anymore.
That makes sense. So for a woman that has a genuine concern, like let's say emotional vulnerability, what do you think will be a good measuring stick from the woman's perspective to where you're like, okay, I can see him working on it? You know what I'm saying? Like what's reasonable? Is it the number of times he does it, or is it a time frame?
I would say the frequency.
The frequency?
Yeah, I think men have one-offs where it's just a no-go for whatever topic of conversation. Like if he lost his parents,
Mm-hmm.
if shit like that. Most men, it's a no-go. They're not going. It's under lock and key. They're not going to open up about it. So you just gotta take it for what it is. But if it's just something as simple as you going through mundane shit, I don't see the reason as to why you're not being open and honest about that.
That makes sense. I think that's fair. I think that the reason matters. I think as long as the dudes are able to articulate the reason, right? I think that it'll get to the point to where at least your woman is willing to understand where you're coming from. I think that sometimes though, I will say this, articulating things you don't know that the triggers, like what you were talking about earlier, Jalen and Bino, like I think that sometimes people aren't even aware of how they showing up or how other people are receiving them in that moment. So I think that can make the shit tricky. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. But when it's like aggression we're talking about, I'm not talking about violence, but just
Right.
aggression.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how you could get a woman to understand that unless she's just been around that already. Me, I haven't really been around men who are aggressive growing up. That wasn't my like disposition. That wasn't my experience. So
I think
dealing with those aggressive men, like even if I'm not like sad, like if I'm angry, it's immediate tears. Immediate. I don't start crying. It's just the tears start. They just start
Rolling.
coming because I ain't never. Is man. Anyway, go ahead, Vina.
And you know what? I think that's a valid complaint. So like, if you come across a woman who, if that's that's a thing for her, I think that's valid, right? Because it's the same thing as we say, like a woman not knowing how to turn off her boss hat when she comes to the crib.
A fact. It's very
You feel what
similar.
I'm saying? So if I think that's a good thing if you come across women who who ain't really with the aggressive shit. Cause like Jay said, unless you used to it, it's too many women that's actually used to that shit for real, right? And it allows us to be in this aggression form that really is no help for us if you're my partner as a woman, right?
Hmm.
So that's all I was saying to Jay.
I
Like
think
it's a
that's
valid point. Like if you got to be aggressive as a man, what I learned, and not even learned, it's just like it was always instilled in me really, and like even but I went against that for real because life make you aggressive, right? So even though I knew it, like in those moments, it was still an aggressive. I've been in aggressive situations with women, right? But like for real, like as a man, you gotta like I don't think you should have to be. I think you should never have to be aggressive to your woman, like, personally.
that's a
But
fact.
the thing about it is, it turned normal because so many women are aggressive now, right? So it's like matching energy. So many women are used to aggression from whatever they may come up, right? But really, it ain't supposed to have to be like that. You should be able to be the softest with your woman and fuck the world.
That's a
You feel what I'm
fact.
saying?
That's a
But
fact.
we live how we live. You feel me?
And Jalen,
Which is
for clarity, you mean you don't like aggressive men towards you, correct? Or are you saying you don't like men that are aggressive? Period. I just want to make sure we
Honestly, I
clear
don't
this
like
in.
seeing. Let's be clear, my man. Whatever man outside of me does, can't really control that.
Right.
My man, though, I
Mhm.
don't like seeing it. Regardless, um, I don't like seeing it. I don't like seeing violence. I don't like seeing just things progressing to violence. That's why I think I've said it before. That's why I would rather him see it as a last resort, not like an immediate trigger. Like, oh, I need to fuck this nigga up right now. Because to me, I
oh
will see him differently if I see him go full throttle. I don't think I would see him the same. I
okay.
would be
As
too scared.
I won't say what she was saying. Then my bad. My
Yeah, that's
bad.
why I wanted to make sure we got the
I won't
context of
say
what
what
he
she.
said.
Yeah,
I won't say
what
what she
I
was
was
saying. Yeah.
what I was
Yeah.
getting from Bina, I was getting more of like, I've dealt with a lot of militant men, where their aggression don't really stems to like where you would be looking at them like, damn, I don't know if this nigga going to try to buck at me or not.
Mm, that's fair. I think that I want to stick on her point. I think she had a great point though. So, and Jalen, for the man she's looking for, she doesn't want to see that aggression pop to the surface, right? Whether it's with her or anybody else. I think
Cause
that
that shit ain't a turn on. I get like a lot of men say it's a turn on. That is not a turn on for me
But
whatsoever.
but
Oh
you, but
no,
you got to define aggression for me because if we talking violent, are we talking aggression? So
aggression.
and so a motherfucker disrespect your dude and on some shit, and he be like, "It's okay, sir." But if he be like, "Who the fuck you talking to like that? Don't disrespect my shorty." You're not gonna like that.
I feel like there's a difference. Like what you're explaining is docile. I didn't say I want him to be docile.
okay, okay. I'm
I
glad you
don't know
added
if
that clarity.
I don't know if I'm explaining with Dawson, but yeah, I want to clear it too because it's like aggression. Are we talking about like a violent? That's what I'm saying. Like because aggression is in many forms. Like aggression can't just be slotted as one thing. People got to be aggressive depending on situation.
I think you can
So
be
it's like
assertive. Like you can address the situation more assertive than aggressive. I'd rather
Okay,
him be
I see
more
what you're saying.
assertive.
okay,
Got you.
okay,
I like I can understand that because what she's saying is don't be no bitch out here, right? And I think that anybody listening, any man, I feel comfortable saying that to men. What I mean by don't be a bitch, meaning have your boundaries, bro. Like if you walking around with as a self-respectful man, and you with your old lady, again, set a boundary. But there's a way to do that. I think what she means is
She like more of the passive guy.
no.
Let shit slide. You got
I don't
yeah,
think.
in man terms. In man terms. I see what she's saying in women terms, but in man terms, as we talking as men, she like more the nigga that if you can let it slide, let it. Yes.
I
But
would say,
yes.
I would say more laid back than passive though. I think she
Same
said she want a
thing, bro.
laid back dude. Because to me,
Same thing.
passive would be he's just gonna do everything he can to avoid the smoke at all costs, right?
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's
Yeah,
passive, laid back, same
because he
thing.
knows
It's the same thing though.
he
You
Give
can't
us
knows
don't
what
we ain't
clarity.
gonna
he's
need to separate the word.
Give
okay.
us clarity, David.
These are the types of men I've experienced. I've experienced a lot of like more like militant men.
Mm-hmm.
Their last option is violence because they know what they've been trained to do and what they're capable of. So they would rather skirt that at all costs.
Okay.
Those are the type of men I like. Yeah, they're capable of it. They may have gotten the actual training to do it, but they know because of what they're capable of, the right thing to do is not use it at all costs.
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
violence.
Because you could end up killing him.
Yeah,
Because
that's violence.
you
But
can't turn it off.
yeah, that's violence. But at the same time, when
It's
we talk about
violence. That's violence.
aggressions, yeah, that's violence. When you talk about aggressions, you like more of a passive, laid back dude. Because people as aggressive all the time that never had to get violent. They're aggressive if there's reasons why they don't have to get violent. Or you could be like the military dude who I know I'll kill you with my fingers. So move. Yeah, it don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
they
that's
just
just
sit
more
there.
so
They're
her
like, oh,
style.
okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah.
Just
Pop,
don't
what's
touch
So,
me.
going
so
That's
on?
fine.
yeah.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, man? I like this topic, man. Listen, aggression, maintain it, staying above water. That's all.
Good
But
to see you,
listen,
brother.
aggression is not violence. It's not violence. It's all about it's aggression is sometimes for somebody that's level headed. It's not about violence. It's not violence at all. If they talking to you and you looking at their tonality, you checking their tonality. You don't like how they talking. You don't like the tone of their voice. Sometimes that's their way. That's how they talk. That's how they open up. So
Mm.
sometimes as a female, I understand as a female, you don't like the out
Breaking up on us,
He's
brother.
breaking up.
Breaking up, bro.
Okay.
is
Oh,
up,
wait. Is he back?
right?
You back?
Hold on, hold on. Let me cut this joint off real fast.
Yeah, put that joint to D&D. You know the count, brother. That's one of the homies. Been knowing that man for years.
Yeah, my joint going,
Yeah, put that shit on D&D,
going
Brody.
crazy right now. Hold on.
All right, all good. I'm gonna go to Terrence. I'll come back to you, bro. Terrence, what's up,
What?
brother? And then we'll get back to Jalen because I want her to definitely give us the clarity we're looking for. Terrence, what's up, brother?
Good evening, y'all. How you feeling?
Good, good. How you?
God damn, your mic.
Doing well. Is it too loud? Yeah.
No, it's just the bravado you got that immediately hit the mic.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
You good? You good, bro?
Gotta
You
turn
coming
it
through
low.
clean. Pause. So, what do you think about? Let's say the question I'll pose to you, Terrence, is: do you think there's a balance between being aggressive, and assertive? And do men consider it passive what women think is laid back? Because that's kind of where we at right now.
No, when I think passive is more like indirect, like an indirect resistance. You know what I'm saying?
Um,
A hidden hostility. But then when I think about aggression, that can come physical, verbal, emotional, in so many different arenas. When I think as men to men talking, we can tell who's assertive. We could tell who's more passive just by the way they speak amongst one another, right?
yeah,
Um, and then physical aggression. I mean, that's
yeah, that's
that just
obvious,
is what
right?
it is. Yeah.
That's a fact. So, Jalen, to give us clarity, I'm gonna go back to Bino because, like you said, I want to get to his perspective because this is important. So, we're mining out the way men show up, either aggressively, assertively, or passively. So, we're gonna get Jalen to give us a context, and then as men, we're gonna speak about what it looks like to us and how we can bridge that gap. So, Jalen, give us a little bit more context on exactly what you mean, though. You got the floor.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So To me, assertive is more so him being confident and able to communicate, but he's so respectful when he does it. He knows his boundary just got crossed. A nigga being disrespectful or somebody being disrespectful. But
Mhm.
it's not a hostile response to trigger some sort of violence.
Oh,
He's able to communicate effectively to get past the situation because violence and aggression isn't necessary. He knows already it's not necessary. It's not. It didn't get to the point where he threatened my life and now I gotta fuck him up. It's just, hey yo, I get you. Yeah, but can you chill out? You know, we all here. We just just being assertive in what he wants done.
okay. Okay. Now, Bino, based on that clarity, do you think that that's still, you think other men view that as passive when we see that in men, or do you think that she got
I
a
don't
point?
know what other men view it. I view it like this. She deeming is what she think necessary for me.
Uh-huh.
You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, I understand the whole yeah, man, chill out. Yeah, yeah, that's cool. You get one, you might get two. She deeming, she saying what necessary. So we talk about aggression. We're not talking about violence. We talk about aggression, right?
Right.
So
Right.
we try to move aggression to violence, but we really can't. We gotta don't
Right.
not let's not do that. Because
Hmm.
in my mind, being aggressive sometimes stop me having to be violent.
Mm.
Oh,
So you think
yeah.
men use aggression as a
No, no, no. What I'm
last
saying is
resort
this. No, no, it shouldn't be a look. I don't know what we. I don't
before
think most
violence?
men. Listen, I don't think most men use aggression as a last resort. Before violence. Yeah, it's a last resort before violence. It
Really?
should be,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because so what she's saying is because well, what I was agreeing for first is like towards the women, I think your woman should never have to get there, right?
Right.
But she said in general, which is fine, right? But
Right.
what I'm saying is aggression sometimes have to be the last before get the violence, right? So that's why I say we ain't gotta say passive. We can people can slot passive. We can go back and forth by the words. So let's not do that, right? But what
Right.
I'm saying is the way I'm saying it is sometimes aggression, and sometimes you don't need to say. Sometimes you might be in situations as a man, especially a black man out here, whereas though you don't give it one or two times, you got to nip it in the bud right then, because we know that we got them senses, right? As a man,
Mm-hmm.
you feel what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I don't. The reason why I can't agree with Jalen, which I agree with her what she like for her, but what I'm saying in general is that you feel what I'm saying she deeming it as what she thinks is necessary, and
Right.
which would be the separation for me. You feel what I'm saying?
Got you. Got you. Pop, I think we lost you earlier, brother.
Yeah,
Finish
man.
your wisdom.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Now, only thing I was saying that aggression is not about violence. It's not about violence. Sometimes what a female don't understand is that we don't open up to a lot of to a lot in this world, to a lot of people in this world.
Hmm.
So just by talking, we just opening up, and it might the tone. Y'all looking at the tonality. You're not looking at what's being said. You're just taking a tonality and just looking at it like, oh nah, 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 I'm mad now because the way you talking to me. Sometimes that's how he express himself.
Right.
Sometimes that's how he express himself. Yeah, look, somebody just killed. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I did that D&D joint. I'm good looking for that. But yeah, but sometimes they just look at it like, yo, they don't like how the person is talking to them, the sound, the tonality of what they saying, and it's really like just listen to what he's saying. Just
Okay.
take heed of what he's saying.
So
Sometime,
now I
I
do got a question for you. I got you. I got you, Jada, because I know where you're
what
going.
up?
So if we talking about women and their valid complaints, if your woman and your old lady's telling you, like, bro, your tones, you look crazy. You feel me? Like, yo, dial that back. Do you think the response for a band in a relationship should be to try to dial it back? Or do you think that what most men do is just be like, well, this is just how I am? Like, do you think men use that this is how I am as an excuse for
They
changing?
use it. They use how I am as a crutch.
Mm,
Some
okay, let's
which which
talk.
which made it which made it which made it hard for most guys that really do talk like that. They don't know no other way to talk.
Hmm.
So I understand. I understand. I don't know who told you that, but yeah, I understand. that point of
Yeah.
view. But sometimes you gotta really know the background of the person, the history of the person, and you can understand. You could get clarity of, oh no, this is really how they talk. They was groomed to talk like this. They was raised to talk like this.
That's a
But it's
fact.
I
not aggression. It's not aggression. It comes across as aggression, but it's really like this is how they talk. And if they're not cursing, if they're not cursing at you, but they cursing while they talking, if they cursing while they talking, that means they're not cursing you out. They just talking. But
Okay,
they need
Jalen.
somebody to understand. And you being a better half, you should you should learn them and know, oh, you're not. This is how they talk when they just trying to get a point across. That's it.
Okay, Jalen, you got some pushback for him? What you got?
um I fully agree. First off, I fully agree with him in having to learn your person and understand their communication style and things of that nature. That's on both ends.
Yeah.
However, when it comes to boundaries, like I was stating before, for me, my boundary is that aggressive behavior is a no-go. It's
Okay.
it's I understand where you come from. I understand that's just how you talk. But if we're going to be together romantically, you need to be able to learn different forms of communication.
Mm,
Just like I got to understand the fact that, the way you grew up is going to take a minute for you to learn these different forms of effective communication. But
Yeah.
in order to be with me,
mm-hmm.
you cannot you can't do that.
All right, so
Just like,
can I
you
ask you
know
a
what?
question? Well, I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Just like if I get mad, I'm not going to sit there and be yelling at the top of my lungs just because I'm mad. I'm going to chill the fuck out, breathe for a second, then approach you about what I
See,
was upset about.
you know
Because
what you said. Can I say one thing? I'm sorry for cutting you off. I just got to say that one thing you said wrong with that sentence. I was with you with everything, but you said you got mad. You
yeah,
can't put mad and aggression in the same joint because
why
sometimes
not?
people just talk with aggression. They not mad. They just talking. It just sound
Oh,
like they mad, but they not mad.
I think to her point, she's talking about when she's actually mad, though, bro. That's what
Yeah,
she is.
yeah,
Yeah, when she's
I
actually
knew that's what
mad,
she was
she said she
saying.
was
When she
chilling.
mad,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's what I was saying. You can't put. I just want her, what I just want her to know. You can't put mad and aggression in the same sentence. That's it.
Okay, I see. I
Because
see
when you
your
could be
Yeah, what
mad,
he's
you could be
saying
mad
is
at
just
something.
because you're aggressive don't mean you mad.
You
right,
mad. That's it.
right.
You just heartfelt on what you're saying. That's it. And you don't know how to say it. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You got anything else to add, Jalen?
No.
Got you, Frank. What's up, brother? Frank, you with us?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling today? Can you hear
Doing
me?
good,
Mic
man.
check,
Yeah,
Good
mic
yeah,
evening.
check.
yeah. What's up, brother? What are your thoughts so far? You been listening in?
I think I might have a little delay. Let me see if I can go out and come back
All
in.
right, perfect. We'll be here. All right, y'all, we're gonna get to our first video for the night. So this is what I did. Based on the list we just saw, I wanted to first get the ladies' perspective. They brought up their two um, com- concerns that they wanted to kind of expound on a little bit more. So what I did was I took the list we were just looking at and I divided into maybe 3 to 4 categories and I kind of lumped them together. So the first category I want to get to is the lack of leadership, drive, ambition, and ability. The lack of leadership, drive, the lack of ambition, and the lack of ability. Saudi, do you think these are common complaints that women have, and do you think they're valid? Men that lack leadership, men that ain't got no drive, men that don't have ambition, and men that really have no ability. Do you think that's valid?
I feel like it's valid. I just don't feel like it's a large number.
Okay, so you think most men are leaders, they got drive and ambition and stuff?
I feel like it.
Okay, got you. What So as a woman, when you meet a man that doesn't have these things, like how does that make you feel and interpret the relationship of the man you with?
I don't meet them people.
Damn, short and sweet. Do your thing. Shut that down.
She be
Oh,
like the vibe wasn't vibing when the nigga said hello.
that's it.
She gonna move around. Do your thing though. CJ, based off those qualities at the bottom, bro, do you think though they're valid? Do you think you can't see it? When you out here in the world, do you think that women have a leg to stand on with this category of complaint?
Who you asking?
CJ?
Oh,
Ask that question again. I thought you asked somebody else.
No, based on what you see at the bottom of the screen, so the lack of leadership, drive, ambition, and ability, do you think out in here in mass that's a valid leg for women to stand on?
Man, for my age group at 32, I ain't gonna lie, I might have to say yeah to that. I see
yes.
more dudes around my
Yeah.
age that lack these things for real, for real. Like shout out to the brothers that be on their shit. Like that's why I be throwing, I ain't gonna say flowers because that sounds sweet and low, but I be throwing props to them when I be seeing dudes that be on their shit. But for my age group, man, yeah,
It's rare.
it's a lot of them that fall in them categories, man.
Yeah.
Damn, let's go with Terrence. What you think, bro? Out here in the world, do you think men lack leadership, drive, ambition, and ability and mass?
I
You think
don't.
they lack these things?
Nah. Mm-mm.
Okay, tell me more.
Maybe your onesies and twosies. You know what I'm saying? I could think of a few, but then when I think about the greater number, most guys are on their job doing what they need to do.
Okay. So you don't think that's a valid complaint from women when they say these things?
I mean, she might experience that from her anecdotal experience, which speaks to who she attracts and who she's attracted to, right? Which could, I think, allude to something much deeper. But en masse, when we look out in the world, you know what I'm saying? All of us right now are on a panel with cameras and, you know, light work. And then there's different pockets, you know what I'm saying? Rooms of men doing a lot more than what we doing. Rooms of men doing a lot less, but nonetheless still doing what they need to do to survive.
Okay, so to give clarity to a woman that might say there's a valid complaint, can you give women that are listening, and even the ones on our panel, can you give them examples of maybe leadership, drive, and ambition that maybe they didn't consider? Because maybe they don't know, right? But again, I'm gonna entertain your position because you say that in mass, men are leaders. We do have drive and ambition. I need some examples to back up what you're saying if you've seen it in mass. Give me some examples of a man in a day-to-day life. What does that
Mm-hmm.
look like when he has leadership, when he's showing drive and ambition?
All right, so he's action orientated. He's assertive, right? When we think of action orientation, we're thinking the act of doing something to pursue something to better himself in one way or another, right? Achieving, taking strides, even if it's something basic, depending on where he is in his life, right? Achieving something, whatever it may be, and pushing forward, pushing through all the tough things that he may encounter on a day to day. And then when I think of assertiveness, right, I'm thinking of like takes the initiative. He's rolling up out the bed, getting up off the couch, first thing in the morning, late at night, whenever he decides to go take care of whatever he needs to take care of. He makes clear choices and he leads with confidence, right? Now, all of these attributes that I've explained are solely and only by the act of doing something. But then there's also a spiritual growth. There's also a spiritual initiative. There's also something within that needs to be developed, right, to better himself, thereby leading a woman, if he's in a relationship with a woman, right, to not only lead her financially, but spiritually, emotionally, so on and so forth.
That's real. I'm not even gonna lie. I think I hear your point. I think that if I'm being honest with myself, like, and just removing my homies, my social circle, just out in the world, bro. I think most dudes really be cooling. Like, I don't know if they really have the assertiveness you speak of, in my opinion. Right? I think a lot of guys, like, when you talking to them, what you up to? Shit, chilling. When they old lady be like, "Hey, you want to do something?" I mean, shit, I don't care. And maybe if they don't, maybe it comes off this way because men don't value the same thing women do, which makes them seem like they're not assertive. But most dudes I know, like, out in the world, if I'm being honest, bro, I think they just letting life happen. I think they can endure it, right? So they don't have a complaint about it. But I don't know if I know a lot of men that are taking control of their health, their finances, their spirituality. Like, they just kind of existing.
Hey, but
If I'm
look
being
though,
fair to the combo.
I
but
I
Is
ain't
but
gonna
that
but look,
lie.
is that are you talking about planning and strategizing? Because
Yes,
those are all okay. So I think that's a little different than right being ambitious. You can be ambitious without strategizing and planning. So as long as you're taking steps forward each and every day, you might not have an absolute idea of what the end goal is, but you're still moving forward nonetheless. Like strategizing, planning, that's a completely different level.
so do
hey,
you
but
think
look
that
though,
strategizing? Go ahead, Bino.
hey, but look though. See, for me to your question, it was like there's a valid complaint that men lack leadership and assertiveness. And so granted, I heard some things that I agree with Terrence, and I heard some agrees you said, but it's two things I don't agree. Like, you can take care of yourself all day long, you can survive all day long. A lone wolf can survive. You feel what I'm saying? An animal that doesn't need no type of nobody to exist can survive. Doesn't mean that they are leaders and that they are assertive, right? So it's like some things. So for me to answer your question, yes, it's a valid complaint because granted, it is a lot of what Terrence said,
Yeah.
but it fluctuates so much that on any given day of the week, a woman can come across one or the other on any given day of the week, right? It's kind of how, like, we say, like, how even the good girls look like hoes for the most part, right? Like, how can we separate the two, right? It's kind of the same thing I can see for women because at one fit, like, Terrence said something, maybe the ones and the twosies. Well, maybe I'm from the world. Maybe I'm from a world of ones and twosies, right? And I know a lot of ones and twosies situations out here in this world because at one point in my time, regardless of what I thought I was, I lacked leadership. Maybe not assertiveness. Maybe I was always assertive, but assertive to where we going though. You know what I'm saying? And I'm assertive about our direction, our mission, what I'm trying to obtain for me and you, not just
Hmm.
me. You know what I'm saying? No, it was a phase in my life that I know now that I look back, right? And I think a lot of men have those phases, especially if they get into relationships early in life, not to mention make kids, right? So I think it's a valid complaint because it could fluctuate any given day of the week. You know what I'm saying? And then women say this, right? They try to slot shit like this. They were like, so you got these different slogans like the men that really got money don't dress a certain way, but the men that really don't got money dress the same way. You can say, hey, the men that look like they got money really don't be having money, but the men that look like they got it money really might look like what they got. So you know what I'm saying? You see how any given day of the week they can come across some shit that ain't just, you know what I'm saying? So my point is, I think it's valid.
Okay. Okay.
That's a
Let's
great
I
go.
feel
point, bro.
like
Right. Yeah.
That's a
I feel like
fact. That's a fact. There's 4 categories in each sex. That's how I look at it.
Break it down for us, and then we're gonna get Saudi next, and I'm gonna go to Jalen and then Frank.
It's the
Go
four
ahead, bro.
categories in each sex. There's a man. I'm gonna start off on the men's side. There's a man, there's a teenager, there's a boy, and then there's an infant. The man, he already went through life. He know what he needs. He know what he gotta do. He know what he needs to do and gotta do to survive, especially to provide. The
Hmm.
teenager is gonna do half and half. The boy is gonna look out for himself, and the infant is just don't know nothing about the world. They brand new to the shit. They just trying to figure out, and they looking at faces that's brand new, and vice versa for the female side. There's woman, there's teenagers, there's girls, and there's infant. So I can understand both sides. Like, what, I don't know old boy name, but I know both CJ and old boy, they both made a good point. They both made a good point. Now, men gonna do what they need to do and gotta do, have to do. Now, I understand where TJ come from. Well, listen, there's a lot of boys out here too. There's a lot of teenagers out here. They don't know. They just gonna go off of what they feel, which makes them whatever what makes them. And that's it.
And
However they was raised, which
and
could
for
be
clarity,
more sensitive than the regular man. The regular man went through their shit. They already went through their shit. They already know how it is. They know pain is just it's normal. So
yeah.
that's
So
what I'm saying. It's like, all right.
I got
So
a
I can
question for you,
understand
Twitch.
both parties. What up?
Do you think your four categories is that based on age or is that based on behavior? Like, can a grown man
No,
be
no,
a
no. There's
teenager in
no,
the mind?
there's no, there's no age limit. It
Got you.
could be a 40 or 50-year-old little boy. There could be a
Got you. That's
40-year-old
what I was looking for.
newborn, 30-year-old newborn. They they
Mm.
and what I mean by newborn, this is their first time outside. They don't know how females really is. They don't know how females really act. They just looking at like what's going on. The
Mm.
boy, the boy and the girl, the boy and the girl, they just worrying about themselves, figuring themselves out. The teenagers know a little bit, but not too much. So they in between. And then there's the man and the woman. She know what she want. He know what he want. But we know how it is. The man and the woman, a grown woman and a grown man know about the struggle, know how it is, and they learn from their past, and now they just building towards their future. That's how I'm looking at it. There's
Cooking.
categories in both sex. That's
Cooking.
it. That's how I look at it. So
Cook
both of
up.
them was right on that.
Cook up. Cook up. Saudi, what you got?
Oh, I agree with everything that was said for the most part, but I also feel like with like the leadership and the ambition and drive, it's like I feel like some people look a lot towards that other person to
Mhm.
to give them that when they don't really have that themselves. Like I could provide you the meal, but I gotta feed you too. Like I gotta like help you eat. That's I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's a lot. So it's like, yeah, he may have that ambition, that leadership, but it's like, what do you bring to counterpart that? Because you also have to have that same ambition as well.
Okay,
Hey,
so
that's
you
that's
saying,
that's a thought. That's a
Well,
thought
then,
though. That's
yeah.
a
then
thought
vice.
process,
That's a
man.
fact. Yeah, I was about to say that's a thought process. That is a thought process. That is
So
a
you
thought process.
think
All
that
right.
that
So hold on, Salty. Can I ask Salty a question?
yeah, you good?
So you meet a man with the same ambition, right? The same everything. He got the drive. He just needs your help to get him through that. And then first, I got two questions. Number one, would you help him?
Of course, that's my partner.
And then when he help you and he show and then he get all the way through that, would you still be with him? So that, you know what I mean?
I feel like, yeah, because I feel like when you with somebody, I feel like you're not always going to be able to show up 100%.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like I'm not always going to be able to be that leader. Sometimes I need you to take that role. So it's
yeah.
like I feel like I don't I can I can't find the words to get my thought
You
across.
coming to him with a thought process. You coming to him with an open mind and a thought process, but you're not gonna be shy away from what you want at the end of the day. But
Right.
you going
And I'm not gonna look for him to give me all the 100% the
every
solution. Like I have to have
hmm
some type of solution as well so we can have the full picture. Like I feel like it has to be a 50-50.
understandable.
Okay.
Understandable.
I like it. I like it. Jalen, what you think? What you think? Do you think men in mass lack leadership, drive, and ambition and ability?
Mm,
Is it a valid complaint?
I say the lack of leadership is a valid complaint.
Okay. Tell me more.
Um, Leaders are meant to be able to be versatile A leader that only knows one way to fix problems or solutions, I don't consider him. He's valuable, but he's not valuable in the way of reaching the masses, if that makes sense. He's more valuable in reaching a niche group that fits him like probably like 98%. You know, a real leader is able to be versatile no matter what position he's put in. You see how a lot of like, I'll say C-suite, a lot of CEOs, it doesn't matter the fucking industry, they get the CEO seat. They don't just stay in one sector. That's because they have the leadership skills that are versatile and transferable. It's not just, oh, I only know how to lead in oil and gas. No, I have the skills to be able to lead in fintech, farming, wherever you put me, I will make the company thrive. That's what I
You went through
consider
every stage of
efficient
each
leadership.
company. Yeah, that's a fact. It's a
Like
fact.
it. How does a leader? What does a leader look like in a relationship, Jalen?
Transferring that to a relationship, him understanding that even though he is the leader, he also isn't the subject matter expert on everything.
Okay.
Like, okay, I may be good at these things, but you know what? I'm able to delegate and give her the power to be able to make decisions in these areas because she's more effective. You being the end all be all, and you don't really have the knowledge of whatever y'all are trying to work through, isn't beneficial.
Okay.
Because being a
I
leader,
got
you
a
have to
question.
learn
I
how
got a
to
Can I say
put
question.
yourself in
I
the
something?
got.
spotlight.
All right, one
Good.
Let
at
me
a time. Let's go.
let me
I got
go.
a
Let me say.
question on that,
Pop.
Jayla. Go
Let's
ahead.
go. Bino, Pop, and then Saudi.
Yeah, let me say something because like even before you answer that, what it looked like, even before you answer what that looked like in a relationship, it was crazy because as she was talking, in my head, the answer was it looked like exactly what she just said, right? Now think about it, right? Now if you're a leader, just oil cool, right? All right, so this would transfer in my mind. It's better to be a jack of all trades instead of just a master in one. And if you're a master in one, that's great, but you got to be a jack of all trades when it comes to dealing with a relationship, right? So like when she was mentioning like being able to be a leader, okay, that's cool, you're old, but how can you if you was able to transfer to this lane, this career, this position, would you still be able to be a leader in this positions? And her answer even still correlated, right? Because it's like a leader in some situations, you go over here and you might be titled and deemed a leader, but really, this person right here, that's the underboss, got more expertise in this particular situation. So how you gonna finesse that situation to where you happy as your leader and they happy as being your underboss? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
anyway,
because
I,
like
I was just
even
correlating everything she was saying. You feel me?
like even like a lot of, I hate to fucking say this, but I'm gonna say it. A lot of men like to be seen first and be in the spotlight first. A lot of, I would say, a lot of men, they want to be the first one spoken to, not her, me. I'm the one that's leading this ship. You need to speak to me.
Mm-hmm.
But actual good leader knows, you know what? This person may be better in the spotlight because my mind, I may not be able to speak well to people. I may not be personable, but my wife is.
Yeah, like
Or she
pimps. Like
needs to
pimps
be in
are
the
good leaders.
Yeah.
who?
Pimps.
Pimp. You know what? Fuck it. I mean, sure, if that's what you want
Hey,
to go with.
hey, that's
Look,
technically true.
I got a
Yeah.
question. Look, my question is, what's your name? I'm sorry.
Jenny, I had to slide one in there, Jenny.
Jalen.
My bad.
I
I'm
mean, I
sorry, Jenny.
can't say you're wrong.
Oh shit, that was crazy. What's your question, Pop? And then we're gonna get Saudi, and then we're
What's
gonna
her
go to
name?
Frank.
What's your name? I'm sorry.
Jalen. She's Jalen, brother.
Hey, how you doing, Jalen?
I'm
Um,
good.
I just got one question because I like everything that you said. I just got one question because like everything that you said sounded too perfect. So I just wanted to
Yeah,
ask you a
yeah,
question.
yeah, 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 sure.
Do you have a problem if a man come to you and say, "I'm the head and you the neck,"
No,
you don't?
I actually thrive better when I'm a right hand. I don't thrive when I'm in the driver's seat. I'm
All right, so
effective with being analytical, putting a plan together, but executing it and
you
having the
okay with
resources to
being
execute it, yeah, I don't have it.
you okay with being the neck
Hmm.
of the body. All right. Now, I like that answer. Neck, I forgot your name. I forgot your name.
Saudi.
Um,
Come on,
Saudi.
Saudi. Yeah.
Same question. Would you feel a certain type of way if a man tell you you the neck?
Oh no, like I'm with Jalen. Like the man is the leader, but like she was saying, to be a leader, you also have to learn how to follow. So it's not going to be everything. You're not going to know everything. So sometimes you are
But
going to have
he's
to
the
come.
neck. You okay with him being the neck and you being, I mean, you okay with him being the head and you being the neck?
Yeah, because I don't want.
That position.
Yeah, I don't want all of that responsibility.
All right, all right. Oh, damn, this is different. This is different.
This ain't what I
Hey,
expected,
yo,
man.
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna lie. I'm used to arguments and feedback when I say, "Are you okay with being the neck?" And it's always, "No, no, no. I'm the head. I'm the head. I'm the head too. I'm the head." But there's no
I
two
mean, I guess
heads
it
on
could
one
just.
body.
Yeah, I feel like it comes from like the way that you was brought up too. Um, I was
What you
brought up in
mean?
the church,
I
so
was too, so
for
I
me,
understand.
I've always known a man to be the head. Like,
Hmm.
and I always knew, like, I don't know, I just seen my mom and how she always catered to my father needs and he always catered to her. So sometimes, you know, my dad may not always be able to figure it out and my mom can. And he's gonna
You
let
feel
her
me?
take that spot.
And the neck is the most valuable thing on the body. It keeps the head swiveling. You slice the neck, the body go down. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to
Okay.
ask y'all that question, and especially after what she said. So yeah, I like
Well,
that.
I was
All
more
right.
so speaking to men who aren't evolved yet. Yeah, I feel like men who are evolved get that, but men
Oh
who
yeah,
aren't,
yeah,
they will
yeah,
always
yeah.
want to
Them
be
little,
the
but
one, the
and you,
pants,
Right.
the this. They
Yep.
they
can
not
never be
men
like,
yet.
you know what, my wife is actually better at this than I am. I'm gonna give it to her.
And I
But
think it has to do a lot with ego as well.
they not men yet.
Yeah.
They
Hmm.
not
I
men
like
yet.
it. I
That
like it.
egg wasn't boiled enough.
I like it. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, man. We in our first topic. Let's go to Frank.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on. Cause they all right, it's on them. It's on them. I'm gonna let
Go
that shit
Vino,
Vito,
slide,
go
man.
Vito,
Vino,
I'm gonna let that
go
shit
Vito.
Vino.
slide, man. Nah, cause
Vito,
this
go
shit
ahead and
about
cook real
them.
quick. Go
Wait,
Nah,
ahead and
I'm
cook.
a
let him
leader.
go. Let him go.
I'm a
Let him
leader.
go.
I'm a leader. This shit about
Go,
y'all. Don't worry about
No,
it.
go
no,
Vino.
what is it?
Let him
Nah, Vito.
go.
Nah, Vito.
Let him
What?
go.
What? You think what I said was bullshit?
Yo, when they talk about maybe not y'all. I believe y'all too. But y'all gotta forget, y'all gotta talk about your aunts, your cousins, your sisters, your mamas and grandmamas and all this. But they're not grandma, not mom maybe. But
Not
like
grandma,
sisters
mama,
and
yeah.
cousins and shit like that, homegirls, college classmates, high school classmates, blah 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 blah. You gotta talk about them too because
Yeah.
they say that, but then when you give them that when you share the ball with them, it's now we talking about women complaints, which I'm sure there's in that motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? We in a position right now where women, we gave them the ball. All you want, here you go. Here the fuck you go. The law, we gonna make you. We gonna vote for this shit for you. And look where we at today. Look where we at
You,
today.
but you're giving responsibility, and frankly, if you're giving that to, they're not capable of it. Yeah, they're asking for it, but they're not capable of doing and executing and doing anything. Actually, they're pretty much better probably as a housewife. If you
I
want me to
can.
be honest.
Okay, thank you, Jayla. See, that's why I love when you up here because we got real fairness from a woman.
But
That's all I was saying.
the
That's all I was
ones
They're
that
saying.
not even
have
capable
the
of being a
proof.
housewife neither because they don't know how to cook, nor wash clothes
But I'm
or
saying the
dishes.
ones like Saudi, the ones like me that actually have proof of being able to execute and do
Yeah,
those
yeah,
things
yeah,
and be a right hand for real, they
yeah.
exist. But I don't know. I keep getting. I don't know. Let her stay at home. She don't need to be seen. You know. I don't know.
Yeah, that is kind of wicked. Frank, what you got, brother? Do you think that leadership, drive, and ambition, do you think that that's a valid complaint from women? So men in mass, do you think we lack those things to the point to where it's a complaint? Do you think it's valid?
I think it's valid when the goal is individualized and it's not something for the community.
All right, tell me more.
There are there are people that will say, I'm going to get mine. So because I'm getting mine, I'm leading it my way to do the things that I need. So when it comes down to it, he has ambition, he has a goal in mind, but his selfish goal is the leadership of anybody that's going to follow that selfish goal. Everybody behind him, he ain't going to be able to trust because the whole thing about it is that they want what he got. And on top of it, because it's not in a pathway that is upstanding for the community can't back it. So it's an individual goal that he is a leader. We have many of those. We have a lot of individual leaderships out here. When it comes down to societal leaders, we have very few. And the reason why we have very few societal leaders is that we as a society don't have set goals that we need to meet, or we don't call for that call of action for demand.
I like it.
Um, so ambition wise, I think most men are ambition. Every time you get your day up, you get up out your bed and you get up out your house. That's ambition. Most people don't even get up out the house. So you have a drive to actually go out there and go see what the world's about. You have ambition, and so because if not, you cower inside. And then what was the last one?
The ability to get things done. Now keep in mind that we're framing this around a woman's complaint in a relationship and dealing with her man.
Okay, so
Hmm.
leadership for okay. So as I said for the first one fits for that. The second one was ambition. Yeah, he has ambition for his woman because the whole thing about it, he like I said, he gets up and goes and do the thing. The third thing, the ability. I believe that everybody has the ability to do something. I just
Hmm.
don't believe I just don't believe some people just don't they start at different times. We all don't have the same start time. We don't automatically realize the same thing at the same period of time.
That's real. Okay. Okay. I like it. I like it. Now, I got a question for you. Because when actually I'm going to pin that. I'm going to tell you why I'm going to pin that question, Frank. But what you're doing, believe it or not, is you're foreshadowing the next show. Shout out to Bino. He brought it to the group. And so the next show is going to literally lean into interdependence and how we as people have become so selfishly minded that we find it very difficult to merge your independence into a cohesive thing when it comes to relationships. So we're gonna put a pin in that until literally Thursday. But I do want to acknowledge that literally that's you're hitting on a point that we'll get to on Thursday. So, but I don't want to fall on deaf ears because you made a great point. I think a lot of people, um, at least with men, because again, we're gonna keep it on men and the complaints women have. I think a lot of men to even Bino's question for the next pod is I think that men have found a way to navigate the world that works for them when they by themselves. I think that when they're asked to translate it over and to bring in a woman into that fold, it's so self-centered and not selfish, but it's so self-centered that it's hard for the woman to find her place in it or even to know where she fits to even help. So I can see it being a valid complaint to where it's like you might be an ambitious uh a driven individual, but for the sake of the relationship, unless you got somebody that's trying to ride the ride, because again, I think that most women really want to help, right? And I think we got to lend credence to that. But I think that
Hell
women
no,
have,
nigga.
you don't think women want to help in mass?
Hell no, women want helping ass. They don't give a fuck how independent. They don't give a fuck
Man,
how
Bino, you said
independent
it faster than I could grab my mic, man.
Y'all really believe that shit?
Nah, not all.
No,
That's not all
but
women.
I
That's
don't
that.
really.
I was about to say, I
That's
feel
them
like
girls and them
Nah,
teenagers.
nah,
That's it.
nah. Pop, we not gonna change the verbiage. We ain't say nothing about all.
It's
He said
levels. It's
women.
levels.
No, he said women in mass.
Yeah. I'm gonna
No,
tell you
no,
why I said it.
I
I'm gonna
could
tell you
say
why I said it.
only reason
Let
why
me
I
get it
say this,
clear.
Bino.
Uh,
Only reason why I say you can't say women because only thing I get from grown women that thinks and all of that and know how to hold a man down. They only issue is control. They want to try to control, but then you got to be the man and shake them off. That's why I say I understand that part, but then it's like you can't say what you said. That's not on all women. That's
Hey,
not
nah, but
that's
listen.
on a
and again, now we
Hey,
got to
but
keep
listen
it
though.
framed,
But what
Bino.
I'm saying
Bino.
is, I know. Let me just say some one more thing,
Uh,
one more thing. Right? Because what you were saying was men this, men don't know how to do this. Which you're right. I agree. But to me, what's so crazy is women take that same stance, right? So women are so business driven, so independent
yeah.
driven. The same thing as man. Man always been like that. If he lived up to what a man had to be, especially a black man in America that survived
Yeah.
without going to prison or dying early, right? He always been like that. Women are like that now. So with the way you frame it, like men like this, men like this, men, I'm like, oh, all right, cool, you're right. But the thing about it is, women like that too. But when you flip it into the women, not only are the women like that, the women are like that and still want to be helped in mass.
Yeah.
See, that's the
Yeah.
thing. They done got to that point so driven. They want to help a nigga. Hell nah. They want to
all right.
be helped and
Now,
take that stance. That's what we
now
got to
this,
this conversation.
right.
We
I
got.
think,
That's
but
how we
here's the
got here.
Yeah.
framing though,
It's
because
a fact.
I don't want to volley everything. I don't want to volley their complaints off and be like, but y'all do this, right? And I'm not saying that's what you did, right? But to level set it, I'll say this. The majority of women that are in a relationship with a man wants to help him in some way. Now, to your point, Bino, there are a lot of single women that will stay single because of that mentality you speak of, because it does exist, right? And they don't understand it. So that's going to go to the next show. But I will say in mass, the women that get with men that are leaders in their field, to Kasim's point, because I think he said it earlier, was he actually worded it way better than I could. He said he know lots of men who are good leaders in a profession, but are bad at interpersonal dynamics within a relationship. I think that's what I'm speaking to, is that
Yeah.
that shit don't transfer over well when the
Nah,
woman's
that's true
like, yo,
too.
how can I
Nah,
help?
that's
You
true.
feel me?
Yeah.
So I can
Yeah. Nah.
see,
Nah.
I'm
Nah,
just
Nah.
that's
trying
real.
to understand
That's
because
real.
I'm about
Yeah.
like to
Nah.
get
That's real. That's real. That's real
yeah.
though. That's
Because
real.
you didn't
Oh
lie.
yeah, for sure. For sure.
Because I
That's
know
real
a
though.
lot of women
That's
exactly how you talking about.
real
But I
too. Shouts out
think,
to Kasim. That's real.
yeah,
Yeah.
like he framed it perfectly, man. But I do think that your point, again, it don't fall on deaf ears. I just don't want to steer us too far away from,
Yeah. That we was getting into Thursday already. All right. I feel you. I
exactly.
got you.
It was
Yeah.
bleeding over.
Yeah.
It was bleeding over. Terrence, what you think, bro? Did we kind of hammer that out pretty good before we get to actually the first question? Because we're still in the first topic. I ain't even asked a question yet.
Oh yeah, I ain't got nothing on that. That's hammered
Okay,
out.
that's solid. Let's get to our first video. So this video is going to talk about the frustrations that women have when they have a man that has no vision. So while you're watching this video, I want you to think about either examples of men you know that lack vision. And as fellas, I want y'all to think, if a woman asked you, what's your vision for me? Do you have an answer for her? And ladies, I want you to think about whether you've experienced what this woman's going to talk about in the video. Now, granted, she worded a little fucking weird, but I think it was a dope video. Don't judge me, y'all. Just ignore. Listen, disclaimer here at the SPS. If you say some good shit, you might get
Play
clipped
that
up over
shit.
here. You heard me.
Play
We
that
ain't judging the
shit.
messenger. Don't let the messenger confuse you. Listen to the words, cause she say some wild shit. But yeah, listen to the words. Let's do it,
When a
y'all.
man has no vision, it frustrates a womb man. This video topic came to me when I was watching something featuring Miss April Mason when she was on the Social Proof channel. And the topic came up about, when a man has no vision, it frustrates a woman, it emasculates the man eventually, and it's a recipe for disaster. So I'm going to link that video in the description. And so in that, she basically said something to the effect that, if a man has no vision, she's not interested because she has to have something to work with. And that really caught my attention because, like I said, a lot of women, experience that. We are called womb man or womb men because We create, we cultivate, we incubate, we nurture, grow, support.
Okay. So the premise of that video is a woman speaking about how frustrated she gets with a man with no vision. So let's go with Jalen first and Saudi. We're gonna get the women to elaborate on that. Do y'all think that's true? Do you think it's false based on the video, based on what you know? Let's start there, and then we'll go around to the fellas.
I'm sorry, the video, I tried to listen to it, but that squeaky shit, So can you like summarize what she said? Because it was.
Oh yeah. She was saying that pretty much what frustrates a woman that when she's dealing with a man that lacks vision is because y'all are nurturers, because y'all are incubating. When y'all deal with a man that has no vision, it frustrates the hell out you because there's nothing to incubate, so to speak, right? Like you can't grow nothing from nothing. So her premise is when she's talking about a relationship and she's dealing with a man, she's like, yo, like pretty much what's the vision for us? He's like, I don't know. We just gonna see what's going on. Now I'm not talking about when y'all fucking, because again, fellas be like, well, no, we just fucking. No, I'm talking about your old lady ask you, yo, what we doing? I mean, we just gonna see how I go, blah, blah. She's pretty much speaking on how that frustrates women. Do you think that's valid? Is that something that you can understand that perspective? Do you think she's off base? What's up with it?
I think in your 20s that's valid. Past like 32, I mean, I can understand why women get frustrated. Me, I'm not gonna cap. When I was in a relationship with somebody the same age as I was, I was helping him cultivate his vision. Because, like I said, I prefer being right hand, so I'm able to help you think a well thought out version of what you want your vision to be. Your job is to execute it. I helped you figure it out. Your job is to execute it. Because I'm not good. I'm not good at that. So
Jayla, can I interject real quick and ask a question before you continue? Real quick question. I'm gonna leave one. It's gonna be open. Did that frustrate you in that process of you cultivating?
A good question.
When he didn't execute it, because I helped him do all that work.
All right. It's what I thought in my head. But go ahead though. All right, continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, that shit frustrated me. If you want to figure out what frustrates me, when I didn't help you figure out how to solve the problem, or helped you figure out how to, build your life, and you still not working towards building your life, what the fuck am I here for then? I'm utilizing my skills on somebody who don't want to do shit.
That's a bar. Fuck, that's a bar. Mic drop. You got anything else you want to add, Jalen? That was a mic drop. No. My bad. That was a bar. Damn.
All right, so fellas.
Damn.
When you cultivating your shorty,
that's crazy.
Nah, I'm gonna be fair because that won't fair to Jalen.
Right? You about to go left field. Don't do it.
Right. I saw.
No, because I know what she mean.
Yeah.
I know what she mean, but it's hard for me not to say what I was gonna say because what Jalen mean is not how. And the rest of these women gonna be like, yeah, what Jalen said, right? But they bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? Because
facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because they execution be the first time I tell you. So I was about to ask, or your time frame is on my time frame. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like I told Strada before, it's the frequency.
So for me, it was like I was about to say. So men, when we cultivating our women, because they know we be frustrated, right? So they know we frustrated through the process, but us being frustrated through the process don't mean nothing different from us. It just mean I don't know. Y'all know where I was going with it though, but I can't do it though.
With it. I think that to Jalen's point, and this is where, like you said, this conversation is gonna always have a divide because there's always gonna be women in a relationship that are moving exactly how Jalen's saying, and then to Bino's point, the reality is there's more women that aren't willing to do the cultivation. They're not willing to do the leg work, the support work, right? But I know where it can get a little funny because
no.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Now I was saying, it wasn't even that. It was like what I was saying was Jalen answered what I thought any woman answer was going to be, which was they going to say they get frustrated if you don't execute. What I'm saying is, okay, cool. We know but they don't. The process is what we get frustrated at the same thing.
But
But through the
see,
process, we know that the execution ain't gonna happen. You feel what I'm saying?
right, but when it comes to like helping plan it, I'm like, I think about the risks that could happen, the random life issues that could pop up during him trying to execute. So obviously, I'ma understand if shit pops up that he
No,
can't.
no, no.
But
To
if
be
he
fair, Jalen, I
hasn't
know what it
done not,
is.
but if he hasn't done not one thing, oh,
Yeah,
did you go to the seminar that I told you about? That'll give you
yeah.
like the resources for this thing. Oh no, I couldn't go. I
No,
was asleep.
Now, to be
Huh?
fair, right?
You
To be
was
fair,
asleep?
I know exactly what it
Excuses.
is for y'all. I know exactly what it is for y'all. See, a lot of dudes gonna act like they hear you the first time you tell us, right? They be like, "Oh, your word, I got you. I'll bet that's what I'm gonna do." You feel what I'm saying? So when the execution don't come, y'all get frustrated, right? For us, y'all rebuttal through the process. So we get, you know what I'm saying? Whereas though to do the fellas, if I'm saying about right to the fellas, so I to be fair, like I understand, like dudes would be like, dudes ain't gonna too much rebuttal the female's help. Because what we do is act like we listening or act like we really know we studying that shit. So
You
it
know what's crazy
frustrates
though,
them
Bino?
Then
if
why
that
come
it,
to
I,
me for
Mm,
my help?
but Bino, I think you actually hit on the missing piece between this. What you
yeah.
just said was a lot of times, even when she's giving the help to Jalen's point, if you're dismissing in your mind what she's saying, that's gonna make her frustrated because like to Jalen's point, you said you want to do woo woo. I found the motherfucking conference for you to go to get it done. But because you won't listening to me, you didn't even put it in your calendar when I told you, baby, next Thursday they got woo woo
Right,
woo down at the and then
right,
she asked, did you go? You like, damn, my bad. Now you throwing excuses because you really won't listen
Excuses.
type
right,
shit. And
right,
again,
right.
to everybody listening, to be honest with y'all, again, I've learned this. Excuses are tools of the incompetent that build monuments of nothingness. Those that engage in them do not. We don't use, abuse, nor do we misuse excuses. But again, I learned that through a process in my life. But what it taught me is, again, the value of an excuse only satisfies a person giving it, because other people don't want to hear it. Nobody gives a fuck, right? And that's not to Bino's point, but I'm just saying because I heard Pop say it twice. But excuses never serve a man, and it definitely doesn't do shit for a woman, right? So I think that for the fellas, to Jalen's point, and I think is a very valid fucking point, bro. If you're gonna take the time to give your vision to a woman and she gonna help you do the shit, the least you can do is follow through. Now, to Bino's point, I
No,
think
that's a
what
fact.
Bino,
I agree. I agree to
Yeah,
yeah,
that
I was
point.
about, I was about to say I
I
understand being no point.
yeah,
yeah, I
I
get
I
understand
yeah,
his
understand
point.
her point, but what I was doing was trying to, you know what I'm saying, have like make the point of views understandable on both sides of where it be the difference at, right? Like it'd be the same. But go ahead, go ahead. I was
But
probably
that's
just
why
saying shit for
I ain't
nothing.
gonna lie.
You
I
feel
ain't
what
gonna
I'm
lie.
saying?
I understand your point and I understand her point. That's why I say it's
Yeah,
categories. That's why when y'all
yeah.
keep saying women to me, it gets me confused a little because you a little girl to me. You're a
right.
teenager to me. Chill
Right,
out.
right,
Yeah. You
right.
slot
But if
women
it's a
Facts.
different,
woman,
so in your mind, when you hear women, you're thinking upper echelon to
oh,
begin with.
you thinking this way, but then
Yeah.
once you start talking, it's like, oh, okay, or moving or acting, or you know what I mean? It's like, all right, well, all right, now I could put you in this category, and you can't get mad because this is how you moving,
Yeah.
and
And I
that's it.
think
But
to the chat point, I think that they making some dope points. Shout out to Sugar Bum. Normally she be in the chat acting up everywhere.
She
But
finally
she
made it.
yeah, she's solid. She's solid, man. The night she actually on one, she said, "I'm not finna be your mother to micromanage." I think that that's how it comes across to women, to where you told me your vision, I'm helping you do the shit. You not even doing what I'm telling you to do to help you on what you said you wanted. Now I look like your mama, and I got to micromanage your shit because you're not even listening to know what I'm saying. It's valid.
So
Again,
ask
I
your
think it's
so
valid.
ladies, ask yourself this, right? So actually, well, let's fellas, let me ask y'all
Hold
this, right?
on,
Let me ask y'all
hold
this:
on, hold on,
How
hold on.
often, how often do guys go to women for help? And second part, what's the reasoning if they do go to that woman for help and they actually execute on the help that's given? What's the reason they went to that woman for help? I got an answer in my head. right? Shit simple, but I just was asking y'all like how often to the women's point, because right, I'm about to fuck up the code real quick. To the women's point, or what they saying, Michael Mann is like Sugar Bum saying what Jaden said. To the fellas, how often we actually go to women for genuine help, bro?
You know
As
what it
men.
is, Bino? Can I
Here,
frame it
here and
more
there.
realistically? Go ahead,
No,
Pop.
no,
You answer, and
thank
I'll get my
yeah,
answer.
because he about to do that bullshit. Yes, Pop, go ahead, Pop.
I ain't about to do no bullshit.
Now you
No,
talking
not
about
you.
me.
Strata
Oh,
was. Strata was. Go ahead,
here and
bro.
there,
Here and
here and
there.
there, here and there.
And with those here and there reasons, bro, that we are
The
actually
here and
go.
there,
Yeah.
the here and there is when it's like, yo, listen, I'm lost. Not that I'm lost mentally. It's like, yo, listen. I ain't trying to go to nobody. You here? You with me? Listen, you know I'm a thinker. Help me. Just help me get through this one point. That's the only time I go like, all right, boom. I don't want to go to nobody else, but you are here with me, and you know what I'm working on. You know what I'm doing. You you know what I'm striving for. So boom,
And he
hey, help
executes.
me.
And he executes, right? And he executes when
Yeah,
he in those positions. The other dudes that go to women for help, bro, they just
they don't
selling a
execute.
fucking dream, bro.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
just
yeah,
selling
yeah,
a
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
dream,
yeah,
bro.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Bino, you know what's crazy? That was gonna be my contest, because you know what normally happens? Y'all be laying in the bed, y'all chilling. You know what a dude be like? Yo, shorty, I was thinking about doing such and such, man. I think that should be fire. And she like, oh, word? He be like, yeah, because we could do this, do. And you know what happened? She gets so excited about him just literally throwing shit again on the wall. You know how we do, we spitball ideas, right? We might think of something, it might be a
And
passion
she
thought.
looked like it like you went to her for help.
Right. And so just because you
Oh.
casually mentioned it, she like, well, hold on. You said you want to do this. Let me give you woo woo woo. And then she like, baby, you follow
Mm.
up. And you like, damn. Because in your mind, you just talking.
Mm.
That's how it really
Okay.
happened. You feel what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I can see how it
That
can be
too.
frustrating because you just
That
talking
too.
to be talking. You feel me? Like,
Okay.
y'all know how we
But
do.
when
Well,
she
listen.
start thinking that you just talking just to talk, it's an issue.
Right. And then, but like you said, to Sugar Bum's point, it's the nature of a woman to want to help, and that's a fact. So sometimes, fellas, I think that that is the key, that when you have to give the proper context to the women you talking to, and this is how we can stop this miscommunication and this complaint. If you know you just shooting the shit, lead with that. Hey, baby, this might sound like some wild shit. I'm still thinking through it. But what you think about da 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 da? Let her give her feedback, right? Like, okay, well, I ain't ready to act on it yet, but that's just something I wanted to put in your ear. Like, keep that in your back pocket. If you find something, let me know. That way
Mm-hmm.
she
Mm-hmm.
understands, all right, he not ready to move, but I'm gonna keep arming him with shit till he ready. But
But
it
she's a
tempers her
female.
expectation.
But
You
no
feel me?
disrespect to the female. No disrespect to the females. But if she hear
Yeah.
that you saying all of that, she ain't gonna look at it like it's serious, and she ain't gonna keep it in the back of her mind.
I don't know. Come on, Pop.
If it's something that you really been thinking about, she gonna, if she's a real woman, she gonna keep it in the back of her mind.
Yeah.
But if
Cause
she,
look, bro. Go ahead.
but other than that, you just telling her like, yo, listen, this is what I'm thinking. I'm just shooting the shits type shit. She ain't gonna think about that. She gonna think about Grey's Anatomy that's about to come on.
If
She gonna think
if
about baddies about to come on and
yeah,
shit like that. Like,
I agree with one disclaimer. If she's cool with the situation y'all in for that moment, she ain't gonna think about it. If she ain't cool with it and she thinks that throwing the wall idea you got is gonna make y'all get into a position that's works best for her too,
yep,
then
it
she
gotta
gonna
be
goddamn
her.
push
It gotta
forward.
be her.
She got
It
to be
gotta
a
be
down.
her.
Y'all got to be in a down bad situation in her mind though. Like if she cool
Yeah,
and content where y'all at, and it's an idea for growth, where it's growth for you, but she really don't see the idea of the growth for her, and she cool where y'all at. Y'all, you got her straight already. She ain't think about
that's
that
gonna
shit.
that's
It got
gonna
to be
make
a
her
down bad
nervous.
situation. It got to be a yeah,
That's a fact.
exactly. It got to
That's
be a
Okay.
gonna
down
make her
bad. It
nervous
got to be a
knowing
down bad situation for y'all. You
For
know what I'm
sure,
that's a
saying?
fellas.
fact.
Let's do
I ain't
some
gonna
house
lie.
cleaning. We're gonna pass the mic around in a minute because the cipher's going beautifully. First off, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to Serenity. She said, y'all gotta make up your mind. Y'all wants to shut up on bait orders or help y'all come up with a plan. So here's the context of that,
No, no,
Serenity.
no.
I
Whoa.
think that what we were discussing earlier is the confusion that causes. So we agree with you, right? And I think that to Jalen's original point, what is frustrating to women is when a man expresses the plan, right? She does what she can to help him, and then he doesn't act on it. And so, to answer your actual question, I think that the answer to what men want you to do is before it even gets to you doing anything. That's why I was telling the fellas earlier. You got to be very clear when you're talking to your old lady about what you want from her, right? So, again, if you just shooting the shit, let it be known you shooting the shit. That way they understand how to help you. But also, if it's something you seriously actively working on, don't even bring it to it till you got a little bit of motion. Keep it in your back pocket until you know exactly how to articulate it. Because a lot of times when we be just brainstorming shit, in our mind, we just talking, right? But because you talk to your old lady, you don't understand that her first thought is, let me see if I can help this nigga. Now, we're not talking about women that don't give a fuck about men. I'm talking about your old lady. This is how they normally act. You can casually tell her some shit, and she's going to try to help you with it. So I think that what we're trying to do in this whole conversation is understand the complaint and give a solution to the men while understand what y'all saying. So it's gonna seem
It
a little
it did.
rocky, but stick
Can
with
I
us. We
answer?
got you.
Can I answer her question? I want to answer her
Absolutely.
question for other women, right? So to her question, right? It depends on the man you have. If you have a man
Mm-hmm.
that already has a solidified plan, he's gonna be on the more so he wants you to obey orders. If you got a man who ain't figured shit out, which a lot of women pick, right? Because I've been both men, and either way I was picked, right? He probably gonna want you to have him come up with a plan to answer that real
Yep.
simple. That's the way I can answer it. It depends on the
Right.
man you
Yep.
pick, Serenity, and the rest of the girls,
And I'm gonna
rest of
address
the
one
That's
women.
more
just it.
comment. Then we're gonna keep the comment push. We're gonna move the mic around. So DB brought up a good point. Pop, my guy, just to let you know, and to all the fellas, man, on this pod to keep it balanced. We're gonna refer to women as women. I know we say females because in our mind we think it's respectful, but it hits the women like women don't really fuck with that. Not that we acquiesce
But it's,
into it, but I've held that point even before that, and I think that when we talking as dudes, when we formally talking about women, we use female a lot, and this shit goes into this whole conversation, right? How men just operate naturally and not even being like, okay, just something a small adjustment. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
Pop,
So
welcome to the internet, bro. Welcome to the
yeah,
internet, bro.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
say
no,
women
no,
on the
I
internet, bro. You ain't never had
no,
a
no,
yeah,
no,
problem
no.
with nobody saying that in real life. Welcome to the
yeah.
internet, bro. Women for
Look,
the
look,
internet,
how I
bro.
look at it, I'm gonna be me regardless. I don't care. I don't
Welcome to
care.
the
I
internet.
look at it like this: a woman is a woman, a girl is a teenager is a teenager, a girl is a girl, an infant is infant, and that's not below age. That's above age. That's above 18. That's above 21 in my eyes. It's above 21. So all of that,
Not, they
nah,
talking about the
there's
word.
no
I
age
see.
limit.
I'm getting media trained myself, bro. They talking about the word female. I'm scared to say it. I'm getting media
Yeah,
trained
Female.
myself. The
female.
internet don't like that
What?
word, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
On the internet, bro. And I mean, period. Like I said, bro, just I've learned that when you talking just casually, like using women and men, it comes to your point, Pop, because you said it earlier. When you thinking about women and men, you thinking about people that have progressed completely. And so when having the convos, I think it's a
So
fair answer. I think
I
it's something
can't
we can do.
I can't use the levels that I think about all day long. I gotta just adjust
Nah,
to
me
this
too.
internet shit.
I got level when we on the internet. I got levels too, right? Because I feel
Welcome
like
to Beyonce Internet, my nigga.
every baby boy, every little boy, every teenage boy, every man is a male. But a
Yeah.
man is not all those things, right? So I ain't
No,
gonna
no,
say the
no.
other
I
word. So that's
know.
how I look at it, right?
And
Like
I'm
you
Yeah,
saying
and
it.
yeah.
I'm gonna be fair again, fellas, because we doing a show on the women complaints. That was a real time, not even complaint, just a real time acknowledgement. The way, like, yo,
Yeah.
just call
A
us women.
woman,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, for sure, for
You
sure, for
feel me?
sure. Now I
All right.
And
respect it. I
Nah,
again,
I
respect it.
you
understand
know
that.
what's crazy?
I respect that.
I
I
love it.
respect it.
And to everybody watching, to the fellas, see, this is what true cooperation looks like. It didn't cause Bino or Poppy, anybody else, nothing to change one word to another. They're gonna give you
No,
the
yeah.
context, but it's cool. And I think that what happens is on the internet, what happens is we have gotten so fucking hard left and hard right the stances that we've forgotten that the middle ground is where shit be cool. The where it's like, yo,
Yeah,
just
it's
keep it
cool,
cool.
whatever.
You
All
feel
right,
me?
you got it. You
Yeah.
got it.
You
That's
But
know,
great.
I don't see them complaining about me saying, yo, men is men. There's grown men, there's grown boys, there's grown teenagers, there's grown infants.
And
But
all
I
of them
know an
are.
infant.
but
I know
to
an
that
infant
point
right
though,
now that's 45 years old. He's a fucking infant. He just came outside.
but to their
You
point
feel
though,
me? But I
Pop
understand.
check, we don't use males, which is valid.
Y'all use men. Y'all use men for them.
Right.
But
And
it's
that's
like,
exactly what she's saying. Like there's a difference between how when you say female,
I
think about it. Even in your example, you say boy, teenager, baby, man.
no, I
You
say
never say
girl.
male.
I say no. I say man, teenager, boy, infant. But they older. They 20s and
Right.
above. Same for females.
But
But I
that's why I
understand. I
think but
can't
that's
use the word female
yeah, that's why I
in this
think that
internet shit.
women's balanced because in their mind they're like, we don't use males when we talking about men. You either a boy, a teenager,
They should have.
baby.
They should
So
have. Because all of them are males. All of them are
there,
males,
and
but
I ain't
all of
gonna
them
lie,
ain't men.
ladies, no bullshit. There are a lot of
Hold
males
on.
that aren't quite men yet, but we didn't get there. Let's keep it
You
on the
Yeah.
said they don't
conversation
use
at
what?
hand.
They don't use what?
Most men don't use male when they're
No,
talking about other
you said
guys.
females don't use what words?
No, I was talking about what
Males.
the men don't use,
They don't
not what the
use
men.
males.
Oh,
They don't use males. Or we don't
Yeah,
use males. We
we don't
always
use
say men.
males.
Which
We
that's
say
why I
man.
say
men.
I get it. That's why I say I get it though, Pop, because in reality, we should have because all males are boy like your shit as women, all males are that too.
Hey,
Infants,
yo,
little boys, teenagers, and then men.
I got a
But guess
topic.
what? A
Like
man
I
ain't
swear,
he might be, you know what I'm saying, but a little boy ain't a man, he a
that's a
male.
fact.
You
That's
see
a
what I'm
That's a
fact.
saying?
That's a
fact, Bino.
fact.
That's a
So
fact. That's a fact. I got a topic so bad, I'm gonna hit you with that. We gonna
Yeah,
address this. We gonna address
hit the
that,
back
Joe. I'm gonna
check.
send it to you.
Yeah, you know the count.
Yeah.
You know
However
the
I
count.
do that, I don't know how to do that, but I'm gonna send it to you.
You got
We
my number.
gonna
Tap
address
in.
that.
Yeah,
Oh
tap
yeah,
in.
yeah. I'm gonna send
Tap
it. I
in.
was gonna send it to your phone. I'm gonna
Say
send it to your
that.
phone.
Say that.
Since that right there was said, okay,
yeah, it's a
okay,
hell yeah, I'm with it
okay.
too.
I
It's a
got
I'm with
something
it
fair
that's
too.
gonna
point.
be
It's a
said.
fair point. Let's get to it. So now I got a question to Jalen, and this is speaking to the leadership, drive, and ambition. Um, Jalen, when do you lose hope in your man being a leader to you?
Repeat the question.
When do you lose hope in your man being a leader to you?
When do I lose hope in a man being a leader to me?
Mm-hmm.
When he doesn't deliver on his word at all. Like I've given him chance after chance to deliver and he doesn't.
Okay.
And it's to the point where I gotta take over and substitute for him and getting stuff done.
Mm. Mm. Is it more of a frequency or a time frame in a
Frequency,
relationship? It's
always.
frequency. Okay. I like that. CJ, what you think, bro? Like, do you think that it's valid for a woman to lose hope if time after time after time he's failed her in leadership roles? Do you think that's valid? Do you think it happens?
I would say, yeah, it's valid because more than likely a woman ain't gonna just bring it up one time and call it a day. I'm pretty sure she's gonna bring it up again, probably word it differently, address it differently, say it in a different way. Probably might even said something that kind of put you in the right direction of it. And if you still ain't got it by then, yeah, brother, you done lost the you done
Mm,
lost the her view of you has been diminished. Now how she viewed you at the beginning of this vision that you done threw at her, this idea you done gave her at the time, yeah, it done dwindle now. Now she just like, man, she wasting her time. And then she probably gonna start to build resentment at this point. So
right.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. I like that. I think that's solid. Let's go with Terrence. I got a different question for you, Terrence. I like the way you process these types of questions. So my question to you, Terrence, is what should a man do if his woman has expressed frustration with his leadership? That's the question I got for you, Terrence.
Ooh, what should a man do if a woman expresses her frustration with leadership?
With his leadership.
That
With
In a
was
his
a good
lead,
question.
relationship.
I want that one too.
um, listen, see where she's coming from. Does it make sense with the foundation has been established? Is it moving outside of the boundaries that have already been governing the relationship itself? Right? Because that frustration could be coming from somewhere else, an influence from somewhere else, right? And I'm not saying that is the case, but it's definitely something to pay attention to, right? However, if he's slipping, he's become a jellyback on his word. He's not following through with action, right? He's not putting that left foot in front of that right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then, yeah, he's definitely got something to listen to. But if it just seems to be coming out of nowhere, sudden, right? He's got something to watch.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Bino, when do you think a woman should lose hope in her man being a leader?
All
Give
right. The
advice to the
only way,
women.
only,
When do
only
you think they
way.
should lose hope? Mm-hmm.
When do I think women should lose hope?
In the man that they're with in a relationship. When should she lose hope? When is a good time to be like, all right, fuck it, he ain't got
Um,
it, bro?
when she already given him the opportunities to show her
How many times?
as much as times is fit for her to. Mm, see, it's hard to say because it's so many. It's smart women and it's dumb women. Damn. Let me see. So how can I make smart and dumb women under shit at the same time? Let me see. How
Yeah,
many times? No, I ain't trolling because it's for real though,
I
right? Because
feel you.
I could tell Jalen the first couple times because she know goddamn well, right? I could tell Jalen to you that, but the dumb women, no, I could tell Jalen more than one a couple times because they know a more like Jalen type women, like, and I know a lot of type Jalen's, right? You can give them more than a couple times, Jalen. You smart enough to know, like, you can see slow progress is better than no progress. You understand what progress, you understand it. But for the ones that ain't got no sense, they might have to be they might have to be a little bit more less gracious than the smart ones, bro.
Okay.
Right? Because the leader understands that he got somebody that's a little off. So he really can't even afford to not be able to execute the plans for real. He can't even afford it because him executing the plans for real off the word go is what's going to make her come out of her dumbness, right? Because now she's learning from your actions and your words, and she's seeing what's going on. So now you gradually pulling her out of the. And I hate to use the word dumb. I'm kind of trolling when I
Let's
say
use
the word
ignorant.
dumb.
Yeah,
No, no, no.
let's use ignorant.
Yeah, yeah. So
Let's use ignorant.
I troll when I say that word, but let's just say green. Everybody understand green.
Green. I like that better. Same as ignorant. I like that.
Same
Okay,
as
keep going.
ignorant. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So she really can't. And she probably ain't gonna know. But as the man, to the women, if you know you green, because you gonna know if you green. You know you green. It's kind of like the dudes that's 30 ain't been outside until they was 29.
I got another question before you keep cooking, Bino. When you say green, you mean green when it comes to understanding men? Yeah, when
Ignorant.
it comes to understanding men, though, not green to the world, but green to the man she's with. Is that what you mean by green?
No, I think you got to understand the world just as much
Okay,
for you to
okay,
understand the
keep
man.
cooking.
I think you can't leave without the one without the other, right? Right. The women that I know understand men the most understand the world. They're very fair women.
Yep, it's both.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, okay.
So to that question, but like, you know what I'm saying, to like the green, to the ones that's green or don't know, or like, you feel what I'm saying, like, damn, if they gonna know they kind of green, right? They be honest with yourself. You feel what I'm saying? You really can't afford. Be honest with yourself. You need to be kind of honest with the man and why you leaving him. Like, I'm too ignorant and green for you to be goddamn not coming through, my nigga. I'm really trusting. Everything I got is in you, and I'm too green and I really don't know how this shit work out here. You feel what I'm saying? Besides social media, besides music, besides the little shit I seen in my household to know. You feel what I'm saying? So I gotta go.
Yeah,
So I think I think more of the work women that's more in tune could give a little bit more grace than men than anybody because they know, they see, they can tell the difference between this nigga full of shit or this nigga just he take a little, you know what I'm saying? He run a 4.8 and don't run a 4.4. I could be a little bit more patient with this cat. You feel me?
got
That's
you,
a fact.
got you. Let's go Saudi, and I'm gonna get the pop and think CJ. So Saudi, when do you lose hope in your man being a leader to you? When do you lose hope? in your man being a leader to you?
You was talking to me?
Yep.
Oh, my bad. I was talking to my children. Mm, repeat the question. Can you repeat the question?
Oh, when do you lose hope in your man leading you?
For me personally, I lose hope when um I feel like he can't take constructive criticism nor when he's not able to like follow my lead sometimes.
Okay. Okay. Let's go, CJ. What should a man do if he finds himself with a concern of Jalen, like what Saudi was saying, the way she's expressed that she's kind of losing faith in what he's doing? What should be his next motive, or what's his next move to keep his relationship together?
You hear me good?
Yep.
I would say if she's coming to him to address that she's losing hope
Faith in him.
in
Faith in
him.
open. Mm-hmm.
If she's coming to him addressing that she's losing hope in him and whatever his vision is, one, he needs to have a talk. He needs to sit down and talk to her to figure out, what part is like, what's like, gain understanding of why she feels that way. And more than likely, she's probably going to point out a lot of flaws or issues or concerns within whatever his vision is. And then he needs to soak in that criticism and then go back to the drawing board and either fix whatever his vision was, or he might have to create a whole new vision, but which needs to be the last resort, because if he creates a whole new vision, then you kind of just all the energy that she put into whatever the original vision was is going like you just wasted it then, right? So he needs to take whatever criticism she gives and try to fix and improve and better whatever that vision was. Because odds are he keeps messing up after she just basically told you to your face that she's losing hope, man. You about to lose her too. If you ain't lost already.
Okay.
Yep, I was just about to say that.
I like it. We're gonna get into our next video, and this one is about standing on your square. So I want my fellas to think about men that stand on their square and the men that don't. Men that don't, and how this is perceived by women. So we're gonna go Jalen first, then we'll get Terrence's perspective on it, and then we'll kind of come up the panel in a snake-like form.
It's hard to be that masculine presence if you are lacking in self-esteem, lacking in self-respect. The things you're going to allow a woman to get away with is going to cause her to lose attraction for you. So it's almost like if you become her yes man. A lot of women don't want a yes man. Most women don't want a yes man. It might sound good to some initially, but over time, she gets tired of the fact that you can't think for yourself, that you aren't giving your own perspective, that you aren't confident enough to stand in your own vision and your plan. So that immediately takes you out of your masculine energy, because now you're trying to become so accommodating to the point that you've lost yourself in that process. And that doesn't work well in the long term. I mean, whenever you hear stories of nice guys being run over and getting played, it usually involves this man who is just trying to do everything the woman wants and just putting all his desires to the side to make her happy. That doesn't work.
Jalen, how do you feel about a yes man? Jalen, you with us?
I'm here. What's up?
Yeah, what do you think about a yes man?
I friend zone them.
Damn. Why is that? Talk your shit. Why is that?
I'm not attracted to a yes man. I feel like You don't challenge my way of thinking. You don't bring anything new to the table. You just agree with what I align with. Now, granted, when it comes to values, I think that's beneficial that you guys align. But outside of that, I like knowledge. I like being able to be intellectually like talking with somebody, you know? And if I'm just talking to you and you just agree with everything, I'm talking to a mirror, and that's boring. So, yeah, they usually get friend zone.
Damn, that's a
Can I
bar.
can I can I ask a question or not? Or
Yeah,
is
go
this
ahead.
what
Do your thing, bro. Cool.
No, I just want to say, I apologize because one thing I was ever good at doing was fucking up some shit, right? So I just want to answer this question, right? So if she friend zone yes man, I want to ask her what do she do with no men and maybe men? Cause she
No
the only
men.
girl, so I gotta pick.
What do
She
I
the only
what do
woman.
I
She the only woman up here, so I gotta pick.
what do I do with no and maybe men?
All right, let's just do no men, right? Cause yes men, you friend zone them. No men, and it's not really about you, Jalen. I'm just really just in my mind doing like a woman study. What do you do with no men? So really not about you. So I know you're gonna answer as you, but well, what do you do with no men?
No men can be turned into maybes and yeses if
Mm,
you give them logical reasoning behind what you're asking for. If you
mm.
just one of those people who are bratty and can't really formulate why you want this thing, it's always going to be a no. But if you're good at explaining yourself as to why you need this thing, it'll turn into a maybe or a yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Jay.
Like that. I like that.
That's all I want.
Terrence. Terrence, what are your thoughts on being a yes man in a relationship? Do you think that works? Do you think that adds validity to a woman's complaints? Excuse me.
I definitely think it has validity. Anybody who's a yes man or a yes woman, um, honestly, what value do you bring besides validating the ego? You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And that's how I really look at it. That sounds pretty cold, but it's the truth, right? If we're in a relationship, whether a friendship with a man or friendship with a woman, whatever it may be, if it's constantly yes, 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 then we could be leading each other down a blind alley, right? Not
yeah.
knowing what's at the other side of the tunnel because everybody's just agreeing with going with what everybody's saying, and that also could be looked at like a snake, right? And I say that because it's okay. What do you value? What do you value so much that you're willing to accept any and everything I say without putting up a challenge? And whatever that thing is, if applied by somebody else, what are you willing to do, right? To
Mm,
move in that direction, right? So I'm definitely against the
the yes man.
yes man situation. I could definitely understand why a woman would be immediately turned off by it.
Okay. Pop, you still with us, brother? You're.
You.
What's the importance of standing on your square in a relationship? Or no, first answer, I got two-part question for you. Give me the importance of standing on your square as a man, and then tell me what standing on your square as a man looks like in a relationship. So what's the importance of standing on your square as a man? Start there.
Okay. Good.
All right, standing in your square as a man.
I'm
Standing
gonna
in your square as a
same question
man
for you,
is
Vino.
strong.
After I get to CJ.
Standing in your square as a man is very important because it's just it's just who you are. It's what you built. It's what you went through. It's everything.
Mm-hmm.
In the relationship part, you might have to chip a little bit off your bricks because they're gonna always challenge and they want you to adjust. So with a relationship, you gotta adjust regardless of what. You got to adjust regardless of what. But as far as with the yes man,
Uh-huh.
being the yes man, it's not okay. I can understand a female, a woman. I'm sorry, a woman. I can
Appreciate the
understand a
correction, brother.
woman
Uh-huh.
when she don't understand when they love a yes man at first, but then after a while they play the yes man. So I can understand why they play the yes man because he's not standing in the square. He chipped all of his bricks off,
It's a
and the
fact.
man's supposed to lay the foundation. So if she able to chip everything off the foundation, which the foundation is that, you feel me? How you gonna build this house on nothing?
That's a
So
bar.
I do understand about the yes men, why females play yes men, and that's it.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
CJ,
but I salute y'all. I gotta be up in like 4 hours. So I
yeah,
salute y'all, man.
love,
Hold
brother.
it down, you heard? My
I
bad. I
tap
thought
in.
my camera was on this whole time. My bad. Salute.
Love.
Already,
Talk to you later,
bro.
brother.
Bro.
Love.
CJ, give me the importance of finding a balance, like to a man that's looking for the difference between being a yes man and like standing on the square. What does that look like in a relationship for a man? Like how does a man balance that if his woman has that complaint?
I feel like I got like 3, 4 questions in one right there. Condense that for me.
Got you. So give the importance for a man that has just been told by his woman, you're a yes man. What advice would you give him to strengthen his stance on things and give me the importance of standing on your square?
I feel like a yes man is a failed characteristic. I don't think you should ever do that. You be a yes man. You say yes to every fucking thing that he, she, it demands or requests. You'll fall apart. You'll be less of yourself. That's no different than if a woman that you're dating tells you to change this about yourself, change that about yourself, and you change it, you change it, you change it, and then she's still not happy. You say yes to all that shit, and here you are, a whole nother person that you don't even recognize, and now you hate yourself. No, I don't think you should be a yes man. As far as standing on your square, I feel like a man that, like for me, if you got good standards, good morals in your life,
Uh-huh.
you need to never fold for nothing, for nobody on those things. That's how I feel. Like you got good standards and morals that you've already placed in your life. These are how you roll. These are how you move. You kind of announce those at the front, at the beginning of just interacting with this woman that, hey, this is how I do things. You need to stay there. Don't change none of that shit up. Be that person forever.
Mm.
Otherwise, the moment you slip and fall, they gonna feel like they can keep going, and now what happens? You become this weak ass yes man. Yeah, no.
I'm gonna poke the hornet's nest and I'm gonna warn you before I ask this question. But I think you gonna cook up. That's why I'm gonna ask him to get the Beano. So just something I'm thinking about as you were speaking, bro. Do you think that there are men in this world that are being yes men to prove a point on the internet? See, I gave the woman everything she said she wanted. I did this, I did that. It's still not happy. Do you think those type of men exist?
Do I think they exist?
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you
But a
think
lot of
about
them
said
dudes
men?
that come on the internet are just a bunch of crying ass, complaining ass niggas. That's all the fuck they is, bro. Don't start. Don't give me hype off these internet dudes, man. All they do is do a whole bunch of crying and bitching. Like, nah. Yeah, don't do that.
My
No,
bad.
yeah, you
I
can
had to
call them
poke at the
yes
nest a
men.
little
They
bit.
exist, yeah, but a lot of them just do a whole lot of crying and they don't put no work in. They put all the blame on the women. And even if the blame, even if the whatever they complaining about exists, they don't put no work in to fix nothing. They just want to cry about it. I don't like that shit. Bitch to somebody else, bro.
That's a fact. And I brought that point up, bro, because as you were speaking on your first point, I think what happens a lot of time, and this is something that men gotta pay attention to, bro. Like if you're dealing with a woman, now this is why it's always important to actually state your stance very clearly, right? Because a lot of times as men, we like to make points, and the petty part of us be like, all right, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna do what you said, dude. And they'd be like, see, you see what happened? And I think that what happens, I see it a lot on the internet and just period in life, As opposed to a man just saying something and standing on it, you got to go through the whole fucking process of proving a point. And literally, you'll let shit fall to nothing before you actually make the correction just to be right. And I think that
Remember,
you
go
feel
ahead,
me?
my
Like
fault.
I
My
feel
fault.
like men have this fucking problem to where we talk about women having the need to be right. I know a lot of men that will go to the depths of hell to be right to their old lady, but it fucks the relationship up because you want her to see your point so fucking bad when you could have just said what you wanted to say, right? So let's say, for example, let's say a dude tell his old lady, like, yo, listen, we gotta save a little money. We trying to do woo woo. She say, hey, baby, I'm thinking about getting da 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 da. Now you know in your mind you want to tell her no, baby. Right now, I just said want to save. You know what he'll do? Nah, go ahead, spend the money. No, go ahead. Go ahead. He'll keep encouraging her, enabling her. And then when the account gets to the point where they can't do what they want to do, he'll be like, see what I'm saying? No, no, no. You said you wanted to. Like, I think that proving a point that way in a relationship as a man is weak. Like, I think that so often before a man to stand on his square, he'll enable the thing he don't want to try to use it as leverage to make his point, and it fucks the relationship up. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about because I know dudes that do this shit. And I'm telling fellas right now, that is the wrong approach, bro. You be better off just saying no. If you don't have an explanation, you can't explain it, just be like, nah. Like, based on what we talked about, it's not gonna work. Right. But I think far too often men have gotten so combative over the years with women that we do wild extreme shit to prove a point in the wrong way. Like we'll take a loss just to aha her. And I know women get that rap a lot, but I know a lot of niggas that be like, nah, go ahead, do it. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. And then when the shit blow up, they be standing there like, I told
Exactly.
you. You feel
That
me?
part.
Like that
Mhm.
shit,
Hey yo,
that's mad
y'all
wild,
know
bro.
That
English.
part.
Y'all know English is some of the most fucked up language we got, right? Like it's so like words mean so many different things. Like, you know, English is some of the most like just off brand, just bullshit ass language ever in the country in the world, right? And I'm gonna say this, right? See, this is the reason internally separated man and woman from the words that they say you can't say on the internet, or the words that I'm not even gonna say internet that society come up with. Society, which is the government, the powers to be, do this shit on purpose. The reason why you can't separate, the reason why you can't say man, woman, female, male, and you can't separate a man and a woman from a female and males for these exact reasons, right? Everything you said is on point. CJ said is on point, right? But this shit all forever gonna be confusion as long as you say men do this shit to prove a point on the internet. No, the fuck men don't.
Mm, I like your distinction. That's some little boy shit. That's fair.
You feel what I'm saying? This is the reason why we internally separated in our head. It
That's
was
fair.
hard for me to
I
switch
see
my
you.
words over. You media train me, internet train me, like, oh, but we doing this now. Let's do it this way. I got it. I respect you. Explain to me why. But in my mind,
Males do that. Let's
okay,
call them
see what I'm
males.
saying?
Yeah,
But
that's
see,
males. That's all males.
this is
Yeah.
why me and Pop, I'm glad Pop can't say it because he was the first person that really I didn't even know he separated like this in his head. But you and CJ know I do the same thing in my like I separate females and women because a woman is a female, but a little girl is a female, a teenager is a female, a baby is a female. Vice versa with males, right? But even though they are all females and males, a man and woman is only a man and woman. They're not a little boy or child, teenager. They only, you know what I'm saying? So, but this is the reason why I say this, bro, because the language is what keeps this shit fucked up. If people internally separated, they would know a man would never do that. A woman would never do that. That an adult would do anything. They'll do anything like a child, and an adult will do anything like a child. But a man and woman just don't do certain shit, man.
That's fair. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. We're gonna get into our next trifecta of concerns from women. We're gonna get to the emotional
Now
availability
let me
of
get my
men.
question. Let me get my
My
question.
bad.
I
Oh
was
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
saying
That's
that.
right. That's right. That's right. Pardon self.
I
Pardon
had some
self.
more shit. My fault, y'all. I ain't try. Let me get my question
You
though.
Yeah, I
good?
was about to say
So
you about to skip my man Bino already.
nah, because
Damn.
he was cooking. He was cooking right there. I wanted to move it along, but so Bino, the question that I asked Pop, what's the importance of a man on standing on the square? and what does that look like in a relationship when you're
Uh,
standing on your square? What does that look like? First,
I'm
tell
gonna
me the
get.
importance of it, and
I'm
then
gonna,
tell
I'm gonna
me
get
how
to
does that.
I'm gonna get the exact of that, but I just want to say something about the yes man because y'all all said what I agree with, right?
Uh-huh.
But I'm gonna put it in terms for women, right? I'm gonna keep it real, right? I'm gonna put it in terms for women. You know what you do with a yes man? You give him a Tootsie Roll pop. You tell him to lick it and tell you how many takes it take to get to the center. You feel what I'm saying? You tell him to jump, and then he say okay, and you tell him ha ha, and he say ha ha. You know what I'm saying? He asks you ha ha. You feel what I'm saying? You tell him how high you want that man to jump. What's important for a yes man? I mean, a man that's not important for any man is to play a yes, have a budget to play a yes man to see if she's gonna be that one. That don't know no difference between a yes man and a man that's willing to bend his rules a little bit for you. You feel what I'm saying? So that's gonna be the aha trick. Oh, you think you got a yes man? No, I just had a budget just to see what character of a woman you was to think I'm a yes man, or to even appreciate that I'm willing to be your yes man in certain situations. I think that's a big difference. I think a balance is, you know what I'm saying? Because if we say yes man, that's in the stream, but then we say a no man, that's in the stream. So like Jalen said, which I'm glad I answered that question, it really gotta depend on the situation if that turn into a maybe man or a yes man. She said it as the woman point of view. I'm just giving it to the niggas as a man what a man should do to adjust to exactly what Jalen said, which I deem as absolutely correct. It depends, right? A yes man is a stream, a no man is a stream. But if you a no man in certain situations make sense, that could turn you to a maybe or a yes man.
Okay, so give me what's the importance
I
of a man
I I,
standing on the square,
I threw
though?
off my question, my fault. But go ahead.
Now you good, brother. What's the importance of a man standing on the square?
The importance of a man standing on his square is probably the most. That's the most important.
Uh huh.
But I want to keep my verbiage like I like my verbiage. A man, not
Right.
an adult, not a male.
Yeah, we talking to men now. Yeah.
I'm talking to men. The most important thing you could do is stand on your square,
Okay. Now,
right?
how does
Because it
that
go
look?
back to pop. It go back to. It looks like this. A lot of people say I've been fucking with the internet for a while, which for like this going on 2 years, and I hear like the 666 thing. I'm gonna tell you something. It ain't got nothing to do with 666 thing. If you a man, bro, this how it looks. It looks. It doesn't look as fun. It doesn't look as fun, right? I'm gonna tell y'all the whoever the attractive man is, the man with money, whoever who got all that man, he probably the biggest yes man for real because he had you feel what I'm saying. His purpose is like he ain't tripping, right? He really not tripping about shit. So like he can do anything under the sun and put it and have five women and do that shit the same with five different women. You feel what I'm saying? It don't, but he could be the same 666 man with a purpose, right? A man, 666 man with a purpose. That shit ain't gonna look as fun for him. He don't give a fuck about what he got, what he obtained, how he look, none of that. You feel what I'm saying? It don't look. It look the same. A man with a purpose looks the same for a 666 man or a 111 man. It looks the fucking same, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Because the 111 man ain't got no choice but to be in this slot. The 666 man made a choice that he not going outside this slot. It's a purpose that he's standing on that's outside of the woman. You feel what I'm saying? Like I ain't trying to talk crazy like or lose nobody, but like he's standing on something that's outside of anything dealing with the existence of a woman. So regardless of what he can assess, it looks the same as the shortest, fattest, ugliest nigga walking. It looks the same because he ain't got no choice but to choose that slot.
Okay. Okay. So what you're saying is a man that stands on his square, whether he has a bunch of options or whether he has one, they show up the same way. They're pretty consistent. Um, they have direction, and I think that the importance of standing on your square is to Jalen's point way earlier that kind of set us on down this path, is that no woman wants a man that she can walk over, which is what's signified by a yes man. It's not the fact that you will say yes to her when it makes sense. It's the fact that you don't have your own brain to know the direction you leading her. So at some point, the yes man is cool, but when she actually needs to lean on you to do some shit, and your only answer is, well, I mean, whatever you trying to do, it's cool. That shit gets tiring, right? And I think that with this is where that seesaw effect comes into play when you stand on your square, right? So you're dealing with a woman when she really like when you asking her something that she really don't give a fuck about, and she's like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do this. He like, yeah, that's cool, baby, cool. But I think that a yes man has to know when it's important for you to make a decision, right? So if you're
Yeah,
gonna say
that's my
yes to
point.
little
That's my
stuff,
point.
cool. Yeah,
That was my point. To play the yes man, have a budget to play the yes man, right? I
yeah.
want to do this. Oh, but I really want. All right, that's cool. We ain't gotta do that. I'm gonna do what you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like,
I
had that
think,
little
yeah,
that small
that's
window for
the
that too, because then you will really see what woman you type of guy. She gonna appreciate that you adjust your wants for hers, because that's important. That's important in the relationship. A long lasting relationship is to adjusting what I want for what you want, because what I want ain't bigger than how it makes you feel to provide what you want. Feel what I'm
yeah.
saying? What
I
I want
think
was not bigger than so it's like that's why I say gotta have a small window to play that sometimes. Like a small
yeah,
window just to see what type of shorty you got.
it's a balance in that. Like I said, I think that
It's a
as a
that's
yes,
the balance I'm talking about though,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. Like you said, as
Like
a
niggas
yes
come off
man,
no, 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 no. Like if we get too crazy on one side of it, bro, we going the no men are gonna hear they right, but the yes men gonna hear they weak. And it's a balance for both.
yeah, that's a fact. I think, like I said, I mean, the key to all of this shit, honestly, is if your woman sees you and views you as a yes man, that means that you said yes one too many times, and when she actually needed your guidance, you didn't provide it, right? I think most dudes are easygoing, and that's the way to be. Just kind of go with the flow. But again, as a yes man, what your problem is you lack the way to actually make a decision when she needs you to. And I think that's when it's most important. That little shit that you don't care about, that's cool. But I do think that where yes men fuck up is that they miss the opportunity to make the decision when she wants you to. That's it. I
Is
think
a is
it's
a is
really
a
that
is a
simple.
yes man. Okay, that's a fact. It's that simple. But
Yeah.
but let's can you think about the reasons why yes men are yes men?
I think yes men are yes men because they literally don't have direction. And I'm gonna tell you what it is with a yes man. What makes them yes men in their life is they always have a built-in scapegoat because they can always say, I mean, I was with whatever. I mean, shit, you said like it's an easy way, it's an easy out type of shit. So this is why most men are yes men when it comes to relationships because it's too easy of an out to always blame the person that made the suggestion because you ain't made a call one way or another. And I think that's why it's so fucking dangerous is that
I,
you
outside
feel what
of
I'm
the word
saying?
man, yeah, I do. But outside of the word man that I was talking about the whole night, just using the word yes man, I think
Yeah, that's
it's
a little
more.
bullshit.
I think
But
it's
that's
no.
what niggas do. But
I think it's way more little boys than it is
absolutely,
man.
it's
I
way
think
more
it's
boys
way
and
more yes
teenagers
men.
than men. Absolutely,
I can't talk about
absolutely.
y'all three out here, but I
Hmm.
think at some time or another, 95 to 98% dudes have a phase in their life where they yes men, because most dudes revolve their whole existence around a woman.
That's fair. I think that, like you said, it's that it's just so easy to have a built-in scapegoat, and they'll always keep shrugging their shoulders. And I think that again, that's the dangers of it. Is that as a man, you should always be easygoing with your old lady, because they don't really ask for nothing that's gonna make you have to blow your breath and stomp through the house and get the shit done. If we're being honest, it's
Yeah,
always shit that's
you're
in your
right.
control, right? But you gotta know when she's saying, "Hey, I want to do this. I'm gonna support you," and when she's like, "Yo, I need you to make a decision," and I think that as men, that's the important parts that you don't be a yes man is make the decision when you need to. Let everything else roll off the shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Like it's cool. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, but you know
And
what
then
I
when
said?
you
What I
do,
said? Like Pop said, you got 45-year-old infants.
that's a fact. No, that arrested development is real, brother.
So that's
Absolutely.
a 45-year-old infant is a yes man. At one time, you was in second grade, Terrence was in third, he was in seventh, I was in ninth, and I was a yes man. You know what I'm saying? Like you see what I'm
Yeah.
trying to
It's
like
phases.
like
It's
we can
phases.
say that all day long, like we saying, but it's just like this big gap in my mind that I think is missing for the conversation. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm glad Pop said what he
Absolutely.
said, and he separated that shit because, like, we say man, so we think adult, boyfriend, baby daddy, or son. You know what I'm saying? But yo, son, you got like 45-year-old teenagers, man. You feel what I'm saying?
That's a
They
that's a
nine times out of ten, they're
fact.
yes man, son. You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
fact.
I
No, I
got a
totally
question.
agree. And like you said, I think that's where it gets funny. What you about to say, Terrence? I think you came off mute,
Yeah,
brother.
what do y'all think's at the root of somebody needing to always say yes to everything?
It's
Like
because
A
a
lack
I'm
of
man that
boundaries.
says yes to everything got no standards or morals. He has none. He has no real platform or blueprint for himself. So
Outside
because
that
he,
woman.
yeah,
Outside that woman.
yeah, like so when she's asking for something, he just tries to find the easy way out. If he got the funds but ain't got no real blueprint or no plans, no God, no skill set to be a man or whatever, his only out is just saying yes to whatever, just give her whatever. Hey, it's making her happy. So without no standards, no morals, no blueprint that he's created for himself, what the fuck he got else can he do
And
but be a yes man to this lady?
Yeah, I was
Especially
going.
if
Satisfy a
in his
woman.
mind to keep her, that's all he thinks. He's like he did it once, she stayed, or in his mind he felt like she's only staying because I said yes to her. Oh, she's happy, she's smiling. Well, let me just keep doing that because that works. He's not actually putting no real thought process into this.
And that's my point. So when you a dude that do things like that, and she still doesn't show the opposite of what you just said, you feel what I'm saying? She green. She don't know. She don't know the difference between a yes man and a man that's adjusting. She
I
green.
think,
She
I
ignorant.
think,
I,
To
but I do
CJ
think.
point.
I
Go
was.
ahead, Saudi, and I'll wrap it up. Put a bow on it.
I know I was going to agree with CJ and say like I feel like it's a lack of like boundaries and like a lack of discipline as well because I feel like I don't want to compare it to like children, but I feel like it's just like with kids. If you let someone continue to get away with something, like you let kids continue to get away with something, they're going to try you to the fullest extent. So I feel like if you don't never put your foot down and say, "Hey, this is what I can do," or if this is what I can't do, then it's like you always saying yes. I'm gonna push it to the limits.
I think that I agree with that point. I think that the problem with a yes man is simple. The yeses aren't the problem. It's when she's leaning on you to make a decision and you don't that it becomes a problem. Meaning, if you've made it in your life to where shit don't bother you, it rolls off the shoulder, cool. I'm not here to change that because that's naturally who you are. I think the problem lies when she needs you to make a decision and you can't. And I think that a lot of yes men, they've been yes men for so long that it's so easy for them to just keep rolling with the shit. And I think to Jalen's original point, that's what makes it so fucking annoying. Is not that you'll say no, it's just that you don't have a stance of any direction, which goes back to leadership, right? Because you're so used to just accustomed to saying yes, that's when that shit becomes a problem. It's not the yes that's the problem. It's that you really are only saying yes because you lack direction. And the yes is always going with the path she lays out because you don't know where the fuck you going. That's
But
what is the problem
then
with the yes, man. It's not the yes, it's the
okay.
fact you have no direction at all.
See, y'all be making me argue with y'all, bro. All right, cool. Nah, cause you say the word all, and we know all is never all. We already went through the show and said women say they wanted well, not Jalen particularly a Saudi, but most women have a problem with being the help instead of the head. So then if you say it's all right, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, come on, let's just come over this.
Yo,
This shit
let's
make me
keep pushing.
argue.
Let's get to our next topic because we definitely mined that
All right,
completely
yeah,
out. Completely
all right,
out. We're gonna
yeah.
get to emotional availability, lack of
It's hard to
emotional
agree with
availability.
women complaints, CJ. You see how hard it is to agree with their complaints?
Nah, yeah, it's a challenge. That's why I've been over here quiet. I've been kind
Cause
of quiet, try to like.
the shit
First
just
off,
got hot. The shit got
once they
hypercritical.
hit us with the whole, hey, we don't like that you saying that F word. Once y'all did that, I've been on mute for a minute. I was like, God, damn, we
The
might
shit
it's about
get
to be one of
hypercritical
those.
so fast, bro. I'm enjoying the
It's about to be one of
conversation though.
those.
The
Like
conversation is good,
now I
but
feel like
damn,
I'm about to be on mute for a minute because y'all know
this,
me.
this shit get
Fuck 'em.
hypercritical, boy.
I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to Serenity before we close it out. This is a good point. Good woman rarely even ask for things that her husband would need to say no to. And I think that that's what I was trying to lean to earlier, Serenity, when I was saying that it's not the fact that a yes man says no that's the problem. The problem with most yes men is that when your woman needs you to make a solid decision, you can't because you just been saying yes, not because you agree, it's because you are indecisive. That's the problem with a yes man. It's not the yes, it's the indecisiveness that'll drive a woman fucking crazy. You saying yes, But what you're really saying is, I really don't care one way or another. And a woman picks up on that when she needs you to make a decision, and because it's not a yes no, you don't know what the fuck to say. That's the problem with being a yes man. It's not the fact you're saying yes. That's not the problem. The problem is you can't make a decision. And when she wants you to, you lack the like you just can't do it because it ain't in you type shit.
Serenity said, good women rarely ask the husband of things he has to say no to anyway. So even though the problem is yes men, I'm gonna say the problem is a lack of good women. So that's the reason why yes men shit can't be yes men because
I can't
nigga.
nah, I
No,
can't
no,
let
no, no. No.
go
I'm
ahead.
just
Go
going.
ahead.
You say your part because you say yeah.
Yeah.
That's like yes, yes, yes. The problem is it's too many times. It's too many men. That it's too many women. She said, which I agree with. Just like it's a lack of good men. Like we could scream this shit all day, every day long. Me, you, and CJ can agree. Ha ha ha. Yeah, it's a lack of good men. We agree. God damn it. But every day, everybody knows that when women complain about a lack of good men. But the same way as a lack of good men is a lack of exactly what Serenity just said. It's a lack of that shit. So don't give me nothing.
Hey, Strata, can you
What's
put
up,
that
brother?
comment back up with Serenity?
Which one? The
The
first
one
one?
about the one you just did about good women rarely
Yeah.
something. That ain't the one.
Okay.
When
Let
you
me
say
see.
y'all, he mean dumb. He ain't meaning me. Cause don't ever think I'm talking about me, DB.
All
You
right, so
wild.
it says good women rarely even ask for the things that her husband will need to say no to. If whoever that woman is, that good woman, has made it as far to a husband, I don't even think he's a yes man. He's already a husband now.
That's
The
true
yes
too.
men are usually around because they trying to just keep the woman in the picture because he has no other values or anything to really stand out as a man. So I think you can pretty much disregard that comment in general because it got shut down the moment she put husband. She's already won that whoever that good woman is, she's already got the guy.
Mm,
I think it's still valid because she said
yeah, I
good
think it's
woman.
still valid. Only because I
Yeah,
think that if she's gotten
a
her
good woman
attention
finds a
to
husband too.
yeah, I was
But
about to
y'all
say, but
talking
even
about yes men. If we're talking if the main thing was about
Oh yeah,
yes
you're
men,
right.
is he
You're
really
right.
a
You're right.
yes man anymore if he's already a husband?
You're
I
right.
think to a
You
point
see what I'm
though,
saying?
yeah, but I
Is he
think
really a yes man? Because the yes man that we're talking about is the guy that's just trying to keep the woman around because he has no other morals or standards to keep that woman around. So he's just being a
Yeah, we
yes
ain't
man to
talking
make
about
her
we
happy.
ain't talking about the wife. We ain't talking about the wife. I feel you.
You
I
see what
feel
I'm
you.
saying?
but
So the fact that her
this is
statement
the
says husband,
mhm.
you pretty much disregard the whole statement in regards to what we talking about a yes man. Are you a
But
yes man? You already a husband. Of course,
I
a
think
husband is
that
not gonna say no much to his wife.
And
They're
of course his wife
married.
and of course his wife not gonna ask much that he can't do. I feel you. I feel you.
Exactly. So
but
that
I
here's the
feel you.
thing
statement
though.
to me
Here's
gets
where
disregarded in regards of us talking about a yes man. And now
here's
we
where it's
put that in
valid
some
though.
other separate topic, it might work. But right here talking about the yes man, no.
Here's where it's valid though. In order to be a wife or to be a husband, you have to first be a boyfriend and girlfriend. So I think that to her point, even if you remove husband from it, a good woman rarely even asks for things that her boyfriend would need to say no to. The reason why
Yeah,
that's
that's
still
true.
valid is that you had to have been a good partner, boyfriend, girlfriend before you got to wife, husband.
Yeah, that's
So I
true.
think
Yeah.
that's why it still has merit. Not that
Yeah,
It
what
it
you're
don't
has
saying
got
is
merit. It
it
got
got
wrong.
merit.
merit to what you're literally saying. It ain't got no merit to the yes man. You said nothing that connected that to the yes man right there. Your statement that you just made that valid. But when we talking about the
Nah,
yes man, no.
nah, you know what? No, that's what I said. What I said, CJ, because you know, which you know, not synthesizer strata, but he tried to throw it off because that was kind of like my sarcastic point. Like a good women wouldn't even create yes men. You feel what I'm saying? Like they wouldn't even create them for real. Because like I said, if you find a yes man, look, you know, give him a tissue roll, tell him to lick it. And, you know what I'm saying? Tell him how many licks he got. You know what I'm saying? You tell him to jump. You tell him how you want him to jump, right? But a good woman ain't gonna put a man in that position regardless. So
Hey, look,
it got
she even put
it,
in
it
the
got
comment. She even put in the comment. She said a husband is not a yes man. That's why I said you can't. That statement cannot coincide with this thing that we're calling a
yeah.
yes man.
Nah,
You
husband not
can't
a
do
yes
that.
man. Nah, husband not a yes man.
Whoever this
Right.
good woman is, she's already got a husband. The yes man is only really being a yes man because he just trying to keep that woman interested in him with just saying yes to her and giving her whatever she wants. But if it's a
Yeah.
husband, no, that's a different story.
Nah, yeah, husband not a yes man. We definitely not saying that. Hell no.
So would it be fair to say that a yes man or a yes woman is an enabler?
Would it be
Even
fair to
against
say that a yes man or yes woman?
oh, there's a lot of echo.
Beans, he good.
Even to the detriment of the other person.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Hold on, say that
I
again.
agree because that's what I was saying earlier, like with the statement like I had made about the children. If you let somebody keep on getting away with something, or they know they can keep on getting something out of it, they're gonna milk it. Like they're gonna become an opportunist.
Right. So does it go into the saving givers gotta have limits because takers never do? Does that correlate with that saying? Givers gotta have limits because
Absolutely.
takers never do? Yeah,
Hmm.
so yeah.
And that right there, that doesn't even necessarily take away from the relationship and where it is like a reciprocating energy, right? The give and take, right? Whether it's physical things, free information, knowledge, whatever it may be. And I think that's what separates the yes man from somebody who's balanced in the information, right?
Yeah,
Not always acquiescing to what somebody says simply for validation, but
yeah.
you know what I'm saying, is able to hold a conversation and disagree and come to a unifying decision or whatever it may be.
I like it. Beans, what's up, brother? You muted, bro.
Look at God, won't He do it?
What's up with you, Brody?
He muted my punk ass. I'm chilling, man. What's good though, man?
We cooling, man. We walking down women concerns, bro. We trying to bridge this gap, give some solutions for it, figure out what's valid, figure out what ain't.
Yeah, you know what was crazy is I was just
Mhm.
reacting to the other show y'all did the other day.
Really?
I
What were your
I
thoughts?
was literally just reacting to that show when y'all was having the conversation. The part where we ended on when y'all was having a conversation about who is more satisfied or who is least satisfied in relationships, men or women. And
Oh,
Jalen,
that's crazy. Appreciate it.
yeah,
Appreciate that.
Jalen
Love.
was
I'm gonna
being
look at that after this.
Jalen was being her racist self and saying that it's men, you know.
Oh, I'm racist against white people, not men.
Both racist against men. And I was trying to scroll through it because I don't know how to pronounce the sister's name next to me.
Saudi.
Saudi.
Mhm.
I do definitely want to say this. Please don't take this as flirting. Your phenotype is amazing. I don't care what niggas don't think it is. They don't know what they talking about. And if you ever have a day where you don't feel beautiful, just hit me up and I'll remind you. Facts.
Nigga over here shooting 3-point shots on the
Shout out to
pod. Come
Beans,
on
man.
now.
CJ, chill, man. The man said chill. CJ, come on, man. See how light skinned
I'm
niggas
not even
do, man.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm
That
not
nigga
even.
said light
I
skin
mean,
nigga.
Beans, you see how light skinned niggas know Beans. You just said you ain't playing.
That's
See,
wild.
light skinned niggas
We
still
ain't about
gotta
to do
say
this
something,
colorism
Beans.
thing. We not
A
doing
light
that.
skinned nigga still gotta say something, Beans.
Right.
This nigga's literally lighter
Talk,
than me. We is not doing that.
talk that talk. Hey, Beans, I got a question for you, brother.
Absolutely.
So when we're talking about a yes man in a relationship, Jalen brought up how frustrating it is. What advice would you give to a man that finds himself in a relationship and he's a yes man? Do you think it's detrimental? Do you think it hurts the shit? Do you think it helps the shit? Is there a balance? Talk to me.
Y'all asking some tough. Either y'all asking some tough questions, or I'm just getting dumber as I get older. Cause I mean, y'all was making me think. In my reaction, I was just going to the other show. I had to pause a couple times and like really think about it, like the questions that was being asked, like pondering and this is another one. Because the truth of the matter is that it's some guys that like that's what they designed to be. It is what it is.
Mhm.
You know, everybody not gonna be the alpha. I think the problem is that a lot of us don't take inventory into ourselves and who we really are. And
Mhm.
so like I was literally just saying, and I'm streaming on my show, my platform, my people watching too. That's cool, right? I see you got it
Absolutely.
up there.
Love.
So
Absolutely.
absolutely, man. I was just saying how when I was younger, I used to like dark skinned girls. but they didn't like me. They like light-skinned guys, right? So I had to like who liked me, right? At some point, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna just go over here with these girls that like me, right? But what I mean, when I bring that up is to say you have to take inventory into who you are, right? And then you have to make a decision to say, okay, I gotta pick from what I actually qualify for, what would be good for me, what would be healthy for me. If I'm a yes man, I don't necessarily have to beat myself up to try to change from being that. I just have to find the woman that's comparable to, right? There is a woman out there that's comparable to. Now she might be overweight, right? She might have like ugly feet. Like you never. It could be something wrong with her. You know what I'm saying? But it also could be some things that's right with her. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's really the problem, is that people don't take inventory into who they are, accept that, and then move forward with that. We say this about women all the time, that they are delusional, right? No matter where they at on that scale, from a 1 to 10, they all think they deserve the best guy. So if we know it's not healthy for the women to be delusional, men can't be delusional either. But us, the alpha male, can't be delusional into thinking that every man needs to be an alpha either. So we can't be running around making fun of the yes man.
Okay, so it's the same. Is it safe to say, Beans, the alpha man also don't need to think every woman's supposed to listen to him?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy if you think every woman is going to listen to you, even if it depends.
Or I ain't gonna say every woman they come across, the alpha man knows that you just don't fit. It's cool. It ain't saying nothing against me as an alpha, you as a woman. It's just that, you know what I'm saying? It ain't that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's way easier for them. I think that's one of the benefits to being the quote unquote alpha male. Because the real alpha male, it ain't just about looks, right? So it's also about how you move, your understanding of the way that the world works.
Yeah. I'm just talking about the connection though, Beans, because I think a problem with a lot of alpha men too is we think everyone we come across that like us initially, and then things don't work out. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem, and I think sometimes, a lot of times, alpha men come with this ego sometimes, or this stubborn. You know what I'm saying? That gets in the way, right? And so what I done learned is, as an alpha man, that don't mean every woman I come across or pick. That don't mean I'm still human, even though I'm a human alpha, right? If I was to consider myself an alpha, if I was, right, I ain't gonna say I am or am, because I know how the people do, right? But if I was to consider myself an alpha, it's hard. You know, what I would do was, every woman I come across, if she don't coexist with whatever I got going on, then I deem her as the problem, or either I question my alphaness, and neither such might not need to be necessary, right? It's just that we don't coexist, right? I might be a wolf, she might be a lion. I might be a lion, she might be a tiger. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So what I'm saying is just because you are alpha don't mean every woman you come across should necessarily coexist with you. Is in a nutshell.
Absolutely, because women aren't a monolith, right? And they are autonomous beings. So you're not getting some blank slate that you get to pour all of yourself and nothing else into. You know, best case scenario, or not worst case scenario, but let's say at a minimum, you're talking about an 18-year-old, right? Maybe 17 some places, but somewhere 17 and up. That's how long 17 years is? My man just did 22. He just came home off 22. Ask him how long 17 is. Right? Especially when you still got 5 more to go. So 17 years is a long time. We look at them like, oh, these still young people, and they haven't developed the frontal lobes and all this other stuff, but that's a long time, a lot of information to be taken in and processing. So no, just because you might be the alpha dude don't mean that when a girl come into your life, she's just gonna automatically submit and become this thing that you need her to be. She's an autonomous being, and it is what it is. You can't take it personal, but that's what I was saying. The thing about the alpha male, the real alpha male, is they're gonna have that understanding. So I was just talking about one of my homies, Ben. Ben is the dude that mostly every woman wants. 6'2", look like Drake and Prince had a baby. And you know what I'm saying? Drive a S500. You know what I'm saying? Live downtown Chicago. Right? Healthy as an ox. That dude used to always show me pictures and videos of chicks that he had. None of them was less than an 8. right? But if they didn't align with what he had going on, they could be removed immediately, and it was no saltiness about it. Right? Because he wasn't expecting every woman to fall in line to be on his plan. You either are or you not. And if you not, then see you later.
That ain't you. Facts.
Facts.
Let's keep it pushing. We're
Facts.
gonna get to our
Facts.
next topic, man. Like I said, Beans, you definitely spitting, bro. We're gonna get back to our next topic. We're going to emotional availability, the lack of emotional support in the past trauma. So before I play the next video, let's get Saudi. Let me get your thoughts on how do you feel a man's past traumas affect his current relationship?
I feel like the past trauma affects the relationship just primarily off of like how he moves in a relationship. Him being able to communicate, him being able to I guess just hold a woman at the caliber that she's supposed to be held at. If you have traumas as far as like mommy issues, then of course you're not going to always feel like you have to cater to a woman, or you're going to have like this disdain towards women. If you lack like I guess a father, then you may not know how to be a leader or be able to be a provider. So it's just like different things like that.
I like it. What do you suggest a man do? Like, let's say you're dealing with a man that has some of these traumas. What do you suggest he do to make y'all unit a little more cohesive?
Um, he got to do that work, but like I don't want to say by himself, but I don't know, like it takes some inner, like you got to do the inner work. So it's like I can help you, I can show you, I can love on you, but if you're not really willing and ready to open them can of worms, and do the deep dive, then it's just really not. We still not gonna be on the same page.
Okay. Do you have a time period or some grace that you give? Let's say you tell him like, yo, your past traumas is kind of bleeding into us. He be like, well, my bad, woo, woo, woo. Whatever he tell you, right? Is there a grace that a woman gives of understanding? And if so, how long is that? Or is it more, all right, bro, you can't keep doing this? Is it more frequency or time?
This is the second time I don't like the time
No.
frames, like
Yeah.
because I don't feel like you could put time frames on like certain stuff, but I
Okay.
just feel like it's like with my ex, he was. I don't know if he was out for me. I don't know what he was, but like he had this caliber where it was just like being said, if you didn't fall in line, it was like I'm not really trying to hear nothing you're trying to say. So like for me, once I vocalize that a couple times and I see like this is stirring on who you are, I have to remove myself out of it because now it's just is toxic for me and you. Like
Hey man, listen. Damn, I feel like I've been talking too much this show. Go ahead, Beans. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
So a couple of questions to Saudi. I hope I'm saying that right. One, do you consider
Saudia, like she from Arabia? She from Arabia.
Oh,
Saudi. Saudia.
Okay, Saudi. Okay. So saucy. Hey, saucy. So, one, yourself a feminist?
Oh wait, I couldn't hear you. Can you repeat that?
Do you consider yourself a feminist?
I mean, I gotta get my thoughts together because CJ say I be going around circles.
Nah, a feminist know if they're a feminist or not. Hell no, she ain't no feminist.
I was about to
Yeah,
say
I
the
was
fact
about
that
to
she's
say
taking this
like
long to answer, that kind of
I
answers the
don't
question.
agree. Like I don't agree with a lot of stuff. Like I want to be.
They trying to flip her, Beans. They trying to they been recruiting her ass.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes women be though they don't know it. But so let me ask you this, because which one would you say is more impactful? Let's say that a young man is growing up absentee father and toxic mother. Which one do you think is more impactful, the absentee father or the toxic mother?
The toxic mother.
So in conversation, a lot of times when we have this conversation about what men are actually healing from, for some reason we go straight to absent father because we just assume that a lot of, particularly black men, right, didn't grow up with their fathers. But the issues that they really have is with their mamas, right? And
They have
you,
the mommy issues.
yeah, absolutely. And so when we talk about this trauma that men need to heal from, I say this to a lot of young cats when they come on platforms. There's no way that you're 24 years old and you have this level of disdain for women and it's based on your dating experience. You
Of
can
course
tell that
not.
lie to somebody else. You ain't old enough.
No,
You
and
ain't been through
I
That's
nothing.
a
agree with
good
you
ass point.
100%.
That's so
I feel
The
like
point
spicy.
that is a good ass point.
it really comes like it comes. I think we said this in one of the shows, and I was saying like you have some of the moms that like you bitch ass nigga or you need to do like so
Yeah,
it's like when you're constantly getting drilled and you're not getting that love or that you know regardless. I feel like sometimes we put that stereotype of like men don't cry or like you have to be tough. So it's like when you have that toxicity and you aren't able to express your emotions, that's why it triples down to that disdain for women. Because the first person who was supposed to love them unconditionally had so
do it.
many like stigmas to the
Right.
love that they was able to provide.
Absolutely. And so that's the thing I think, like what I tried to address when I first came to YouTube was mothering, because that's really the biggest issue right now that men are dealing with. We have way more involved fathers now, right? I would argue 51% or more of fathers are involved. So we've kind of taken care of that issue to some degree. But the bigger issue is the relationships that these boys have with their mamas. Because mamas don't want to be grandmamas, right? They want to be nanas, right? So they don't want to be grandmamas. They're not trying to get too old too fast, right? They trying to be cool. Your mama look like the girls that you go to high school with. She dressed the same way, act the same way, use the same slang, right? A lot of these boys grew up watching their mama have different men going in and out, in and out, in and out. We don't never talk about that. We try to make it seem like the reason why boys like chasing girls is because boys influence them to. But what you think you gonna think about women if your mama got a different dude every other day? You gonna think this?
I will say this, Beans. To reference to this topic, I think yes, it's absolutely valid what you're saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
To reference to this topic with men dealing with women, I think that more so dealing with the toxic mom or quote unquote the mommy issues than to do
Mhm.
the dad. But the dudes not knowing how to be a man or what whole would it take to be a man, whether that's trouble, whether that's violence, whether that's games, whether it's just little different shit comes from the dude. But just to your, because I wanted to say that point because I know like how people will be like, oh, you blaming everything on the moms. You know how this shit go. They say you blame everything on the moms. And just correct me if I'm wrong. You just saying men dealing with women really has nothing to do with the dad. Has everything to do with the mom. Right?
Yeah,
Right. I mean,
yes. So
yeah.
I would say not. I would say nothing. I would say the majority of it is about their relationship
Majority.
with their mom.
Majority. Yeah.
So
I agree. I agree,
yeah,
bro. I
what
agree.
I see is this. I know guys that had great relationships with their mothers, great relationships with the women in their family, grandmamas, aunties, right? And those guys, women love them. Right? Because they knew how to love women because they had been loved by women all their life. When nobody saying you ugly, you get on my nerves, you look like your daddy, I should have aborted you. Like they not hearing that. They hearing it's like Simba. I don't remember the song they was playing when they was living Simba. Whatever African song they was playing, right? It's like when they get treated like that by the women in their life, they don't grow up with those insecurities. You see what I'm saying? If some girl out here don't love me, well, say it must be something wrong with you. Because all these women I know love me. So I don't know what's going on with you.
Hey,
I'm going over here with the rest of the people who love me.
hey, Beans, you know my mom watched this, right? So what you saying, the reason why Sorry, the reason why I am like a man, my mom fault. You know what I'm saying? The reason why they love me, my mama fault. All right, mom, you heard Bean say it, mom. I ain't say it,
But no,
ma.
it's so crazy that you said it, Bino, because the whole time he was saying it, I'm like, oh, this is Bino. This is Bino.
You know, my mom said, Bean, ma. He blamed it on my. Hey, ma. Bean said it, ma. It ain't my daddy. No, I'm playing. Go ahead, Bean. It's my fault,
No,
bro.
That's
but
I'm
funny.
trolling.
the
I'm
dad
trolling, bro. I'm
I'm
trolling.
glad,
I'm trolling.
I'm glad you brought up the balance piece, right? Because the dad
Yeah.
part is this. So what dads do really as it pertains to dealing with women, your dad can teach you how to talk to a woman and this and that, and how to be cool. And you can see your dad be very patient, right? So you definitely can learn how to interact with a woman watching your dad or watching other men. I mean, I watched the Cosby Show growing up. So I've been a kiss all on my woman hand, rub all on my woman feet dude since I was a kid, right? Like since I was 12. That's I wanted to
Oh,
spend my
freaky
whole
nigga.
doing that, right? I didn't want to do nothing else. I ain't playing. Hey, CJ, I ain't playing for no job, no career, no nothing. All I planned for was kissing and loving on my woman. That's it. Right? That was my whole plan after watching Bill Cosby Show, right? So, but you can learn that, right? But that it's the intake part is what we're talking about, right? It's the
So
expectation. If you have a toxic mom, what you get told a lot is, look, that's your mom. She's doing the best you can. You get told to love her regardless, in spite of, love her through all of that toxicity. And we as men tend to go chase after women who remind us of our mother. So if you have some void, think about how dysfunctional this is. You have some void because of the fact that you had a toxic, maybe even not so present mother. A lot of mothers never learn how to actually love their sons, right? So you had a toxic mom, but you still want a woman that's like your mom. So now you going out here dating all these toxic girls. If they ain't loud, if they ain't belligerent, right, you ain't even really interested in them. So it's a lot of dysfunction that comes from that relationship in itself. And this is the crazy thing about it. For so many years, Strata, you know this, we talked about the dysfunction in the relationship between daughters and absent fathers. We talked about that forever. Yo, you supposed to be the first one she loved, and y'all ain't here to love them, and this is why they feel so unloved. And all those years while we talked about that, nobody was saying, yeah, but what about this little boy? And what about what he's seeing going on with his
with
mom
his
and what
mother,
about his
that
relationship with her? So
it
that's why
speaks to the
a lot
trauma.
of this unhealed trauma.
Nah, even that. You right though, bro. But even with the daughters, it still can go back to the moms too. You say that because of the dad, but what about the same way the boy seen the mom, had different boyfriend and all this blah blah blah. The daughter seen it too, so it can still it reverts back to both parties. But to what you saying, relationship wise, if it was an absent father. If it was an absent father, whether it was a daughter or a son, if it was an absent father based on this particular topic we're talking about now, a relationship, you would have to lean it more towards a toxic mom, regardless if it was a daughter or a son.
Got you. I was gonna go into another video, but I want to ask the fellas a question. I'm gonna start with CJ, and then we'll go Bino and Beans. CJ, how challenging is it to reach an emotionally a distant man? How challenging is it for a woman to reach an emotionally distant man?
Say that one more time.
How challenging is it for a woman to reach an emotionally distant man?
Emotionally distant, man. I would say
First
if
off,
she
is it a
was the,
challenge? Let's start there. Is it a challenge?
I would say it's gonna be challenging regardless, but it would probably be more challenging if she was the cause of him becoming emotionally distant.
Okay, tell me more.
If it was something that she said or did, they probably been dating for a while to the point they've had those sensitive vulnerable talks, and I guess in the midst of an argument, she might have said something to push a button or whatever, but then
Mm-hmm.
she tried to brush off like, how I get when I'm angry, my bad. At the end of the day, you done started World War III low key, so now he gotta distance himself out of that, right? So if she was the cause of it by triggering something to make him emotionally distant, then it's gonna be a hell of a challenge, one that it might result in them ending. But if it was something that was caused by other shit around him, where like childhood trauma or like mother trauma, shit like that, then he needs to be verbal about it, that it exists, but he also need to go seek therapy, because it ain't her job to be fighting that shit or trying to do all that when it ain't got nothing to do with her. It's different if it was her. It's not. It's a whole nother thing when it ain't even got shit to do with her. Feel me?
Okay, I like it. Bino, same question. How challenging is it for a woman to
Oh,
deal with an emotionally distant man?
oh man, I got two ways that I hope you give me the grace to answer, right? Because my first way that I'm gonna go with is with like CJ said. I don't think it's necessarily emotionally challenging for a woman. I don't think it's challenging for a woman to come across a emotionally expressive man too much per se. But I think once they mess up that time that man does do that, I think it's gonna be very challenging for you to see that side of him again in one instance, right? So kind of, I think maybe that's what CJ was referring to. If not, that's what I'm saying and interpreted from what he's saying. And then my other way is going back uh, uh to what Bean said just prior to this question is just like if you end up coming across that guy who continues to want continue to go after women that's like the toxic relationship he had with his mom, it's going to be challenging if you that second, third, fourth girlfriend around, right? Because he already done experienced it with the first mom. He done experienced it with the first girlfriend. By the time you the second, off the rip, you come into, I think what women saying is like that trauma, the mom issues, the unhealed shit. So on one lane is what I got to go with my reasoning is it could be challenging if it's for like Beans thing that he said just prior. But the other thing is I don't think that's majority of the time. I think majority of the time is more so like CJ. It's like it's not challenging that he's expressive, but mostly is that you wasn't woman enough to treat that as a fragile package, right? You thought it was just any Amazon package, any Home Depot package that was dropped off on your porch. You ain't treated as is fragile, which is fragile for any man. I don't give a fuck if he has just a single mom, single dad, man, and one, husband and wife as a mother and a father. It's gonna be that emotional shit is real fragile for men. So if you don't treat it as such, you probably won't see that same side too much for the for the man that really purposely showed you his emotion, like intentionally went outside of his nature, which was to keep his emotions outside of shit, right? And especially if he intentionally do that, intentionally to, what I'm saying, show you that side that's vulnerable to him. You don't treat that as fragile as such as it is, you won't see that shit too many times again with too many niggas, man.
Okay, I like it. Beans, I'm gonna switch up the question with you because I think they gave solid answers. So, what's the solution? How does a woman tackle the challenge of dealing with a man that's emotionally distant? What are some things she can do to close that gap of the distance?
Nothing.
Okay, tell me why.
Somebody in the chat said I was long-winded, so I wanted to see if they was cool with that answer. Is that better? But no, honestly, Saudi had it better. I mean, she had the right answer earlier when she said she could love you as much as she wants to. It's up to you, right? So, because I'm one of those guys, bro. I dealt with it with my mom. Tumultuous relationship. I always say I was my mom's guinea pig. She made all her mistakes with me, and then I watched her correct them with my little brothers. Right? So that was trauma in itself. Being homeless at 12 and 13 and all that type of stuff. She kicking me out. It was crazy. And I tried to fill that void with women. It don't work. It's nothing they could do. They could love you to death, but it's not gonna correct the pain, the hurt, the past. It's not necessary. It's not gonna do anything about that. I thought sex was gonna, really help. It didn't. It just becomes addictive. Like any cigarette, like any alcohol, And then it's worse to be addicted to sex because you have to get that from somebody else. And now you're almost being inconsiderate. Like it was to the point where I would punch holes in the wall and break stuff if my woman told me no. No, you mean I can't get no head tonight? Pow, holes in the wall. Right? So at some point I had to realize, like, and it, sadly, but it's true, it took for my woman to get sick. She had got sick, was in the hospital, and because I didn't want to add to the stress she already had going on, I had to start looking internally. We didn't get to have sex for a while, for some months after her being sick. So I had to deal with that, and I started really treating it like it was an addiction. And I started really looking internally and saying, like, okay, you can't do nothing about this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then that's when I started looking at different things. I started digging into what was going on with me, discovered the anxiety, diagnosed with depression, all these different things, PTSD and all that stuff. And I started reading stuff and watching videos and the therapeutic stuff. I started listening to ocean sounds and wave noises and, rain noises and different stuff, and 420 frequencies and all these different things, right? Just really trying to bring a little bit of peace to myself while I worked through it. And then the best thing I did was I started podcasting, because now I can actually have these conversations about what's going on with me. And a lot of times that's what you need. You need to hear yourself say things out loud so you can get it out. And sometimes you even need to hear yourself say it out loud so you can see how irrational you're being sometimes, right? I did anger management, 26 weeks. I was upset the first 3 days until this dude came in. He was acting just like me, disrupting the class, being all angry. I'm like, damn, that's how I look. I became a model student after that because I saw how I looked. He held the mirror up to me. You see what I'm saying?
Stay right there, Beans. Do you think that men don't know how we look to the women we with? Do you think that's the reason why there's a lot of complaints?
Yeah, I don't think we consider it enough, to be honest with you. We talk about women being entitled, but when a woman loves you, like, you expect a lot of grace. You know what I mean? You do. We as men, we expect a lot of grace for the things that we do and how we present when we feel like this woman is supposed to love us. And that's more in particular when you have that trauma or that traumatic relationship with your mom, or when your relationship is founded on you being a provider. That's where I think you'll find a majority of that particular brand of dysfunction, where you're not considering how you're presented to your woman.
Damn, bro. You know what's crazy? I ain't like when I say I ain't like it, I meant like this, right? I ain't like taking up for the complaints of men beings, but I don't like this shit neither. Like, cause it's like it's giving like, cause you right though, dog, but it's like I don't know no more in 2025. I think we still you feel me? I don't know if that's the case. I can tell you like of age, right? Like I'm 37. I can tell you if in our age range of panelists up here right now. And I think we still talking like when we was young and fucking up, maybe. And I think that shit done caught up in 2025. I don't think that shit be it was the issue. Like if I think about my past relationships, what you saying was the issue. But today, if I date a woman today, that shit ain't the issue, man. These girls, they gone. They gone. But I'm just, so you just got me thinking, and I'm talking out loud. My fault. Go ahead. Y'all do y'all thing. I'm just talking out loud.
We're not wrong about what we're saying about women. And when we're having conversations about women, they can get their criticisms just like anybody else. But right now, if we're talking about guys, we have to be honest. The reason why I wanted to do a podcast in the beginning was because I wanted women to understand, no matter where you meet a man at in his life, that's not day one of his life. Whether he's 18, 28, 38, 48, 58, he's coming with a lot of experiences that you don't know about, right? That have shaped him into becoming what he is. Once I got on YouTube and did a bunch of episodes and started moving and shaking, And I started realizing, oh, it's a lot of guys on YouTube talking about the male experience. So I don't really have to, focus on that as much. But I started realizing it ain't a lot of guys talking about the woman's experience, right? So I started interviewing women, putting together this little documentary that I called In Living Color, right? Where I'm saying, fellas, we need to also understand these women are not blank slates when we get them. There are things that we, if we're not in tuned or trained, won't be able to recognize and say, oh, she's acting like that. That means she probably had this kind of experience or this kind of experience. Let me broach the conversation like that. Babe, have you ever experienced? Oh man, that's great. You know what? And I'm gonna tell you something. That was right. You see what I'm saying? You got to kind of like approach them in a very altruistic way to let them know, like, I'm not coming at you to condemn you, right? I want to correct the behavior, but I need you to understand that the behavior is just a defense mechanism for how you feel. You're triggered right now because you're being made to feel like something you experienced a long time ago, right? But the women need to understand that same thing goes for us, right? Like it just does. One of the things I said when I was reacting to y'all video that Jalen said that was absolutely true, when she said a lot of guys, even over 30, they might go through something one time with a chick and be like, forget this, right? Because of the things that they went through before. That was absolutely true. I said, I don't know why they argue with her at all about that. You hear these guys saying it in the songs today. It was the Lil Baby and the 42 Dub. What'd he say? Since my bitch bro bad, I ain't had a heart. 42 Doug, like 4'11", 10 years old. And he said, since his bitch broke bad, he ain't had a heart. Now, when he 30, he gonna still be carrying that around. You see what I'm saying? That's just the reality, bro. So we just got to treat men like they're emotional creatures too.
I love it. I love it. We've reached a great part of the show, man. The solution and the wrap up, man. This has been a dope show. I think we mined through some pretty good complaints for the women, man. I think we validated a lot of them. Again, for the audience, I hope y'all been edified with the solutions, right? Some of them were valid. We gave more credibility to some than others. But here's the part where we mix it all up. So, fellas, this is what I want y'all to do. When it's your turn to go, I want you to get solutions to some of the common complaints that women have. And for Saudi, what I want you to do is kind of wrap up and give the men the advice from your perspective that you think can help them the most. So we're both giving advice just from your perspective. So let's start with Saudi. What advice do you have for men if they're dealing with women and the complaints they deal with? Like, what advice would you give a man that finds himself on the other side of these complaints? What should he do?
I hate when I have to go first. But because I don't even get time to get my thought process together, I need it. But I just feel like, just to be like a proactive listener and just like really take into consideration what she's saying, because some of it may be valid points. So that's what I said earlier, like being able to take like the constructive criticism. And then, me, this is my go-to every solution. You got to do the inner work. So it's like your partner can help you, but they can't do the work for you. So until you really sit there and like sit in the dark with your traumas and like figure out why you are the way that you are and your triggers, then I feel like it's always gonna be a continued cycle no matter who you with.
In fact, I like it. I like it. I like it. Let's go CJ, and then we're going to do Beans and Bino. What advice would you give men facing these current issues and the concerns that the women have? What advice would you give them? What's their first actionable step to fixing some of these things we've been talking about, bro?
If all these women have all these goddamn complaints, they wouldn't have to be thinking about some goddamn solutions. That's the problem. No, had to get that out. Y'all motherfuckers had me out here I had to be a fucking. Hold on, man. Come back to me because I'm about to get mad already. Come back to me.
Right. Let's go.
That's all
what you got,
good. I go take off. So listen, I'm gonna say this, man. Look. some of the stuff that women say about us, it's the minority, and some of it is the majority.
Mhm.
So the whole thing is this: as a man, you just have to decide what's more important to you, right? Do you want a woman? Do you want to have multiple women? Right? My whole thing is, if you want to have multiple women, stand on that. Right? Like that's how you eliminate the cheating part. Stand on that. Look, you're not gonna be my only one, and I don't owe you any explanations for what I do. Until such time as I choose to be monogamous, I am not right now. If you don't like that, then I don't know what to tell you. But we can't be friends. Right? So you guys got to stand on that, right? Some of the stuff we can do simply by how we move and operate as men, and it is just self-correct. Some of the other stuff, hey, you know, it's woman specific. You know what I'm saying? Some like, I hate to use sex again, but like, you know, some guys like for a girl to throw it back, right? Some guys don't. Some guys like a starfish, right? Lay there and take it type shit. You can't go get the girl that's throwing it back when you like starfish and then wonder why, you know what I'm saying, shit ain't working out. She complaining because you don't like how she doing it, but you knew that before you went and got with her. So we just got to be honest about what it is that we want as men and what we are willing to give as men. And if it's something that you aren't willing to give, don't lie, don't game, don't force a chick to be in a relationship with you knowing that you can't give them what it is that they looking for. Just be honest about it. Hey, look, you want this? I can't give it to you right now. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm emotionally distant.
Mhm.
I don't want to be. I'm willing to do some things to work on it, but it's only gonna get prepared on my time scale. So if, like, this is what my uncle told me a few years ago, and I'm gonna land it. I was deciding whether or not I wanted to be with my girl because we kept getting into it. And then I had went to jail for a domestic. I was like, nah, I don't know about this no more.
Yeah.
Then we was talking about getting back together, and I asked my uncle, what should I do? And he said, look, the way she is right now, if she's that way 5 years from now, would you still want to be with her? If the answer is yes, then give it a shot and just accept that and stop trying to change her. Stop arguing and bickering about every little thing. Nobody ain't gonna be perfect. But if the answer is no, then don't go back. Ain't no need for y'all to try to rekindle this. It is what it is. By the time people hit 30, they are who they are. And they not really gonna change. So you either gonna accept them or you not. So a lot of this just comes down to us accepting who we are, doing inventory on ourselves, accepting people that we choose to be with. That's what relationships are built on. That's how you maintain a relationship. The key to a longevity in a relationship is not leaving. Right? So if you want to leave, then leave. If you don't. But fellas, we can't pretend like all the women lying on us. Some of this shit, we got to make some corrections. We black men, we can get it done. We all that. Period.
Love it.
Hey, I'm gonna go say peace to my audience too. Salute to CJ, salute to Bino, Strata, definitely salute to Saudi. Jalen, you ain't have to run.
Hey, B,
love y'all.
you always welcome back here, brother, man. Make sure you
Ditto,
drop
man.
your channel in the chat before you dip out. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man.
We had to
Ditto,
pull up
bro.
on you type shit.
No doubt.
All
Peace,
up. Bino, what you got for us, brother? Solutions.
Brother
For
Bino.
who again? What, Tommy?
Solutions for men.
No. What's Tommy say?
I said brother Bino.
Oh, yeah. What did you say? Sean?
Solutions for men about women's complaints.
Solutions for men about women's complaints. Uh, let's see here. What do we stick on the most? We probably stuck on leadership and emotional availability. The most. So I would say, I want to say things that fit for dudes, not what worked for me, because I'm different. So I want to say, you know, what I'm saying I'm a little bit different when it comes to the odds of this shit. So I would say, listen, man. I would say, just as important it is for a man to be, to care about financial things. This is important for a man to care about his physical capability of defending himself or defending a woman or defending his family. I would say put put a lot of importance on being emotionally sound, because I think the most emotional thing a man does in life is deal with a woman. Without the dealing of a woman, we don't have to worry about anything emotional. We don't have to worry about leading uh, a society of people when they talk about women and children, because without women, we don't have children. So you don't have to worry about leading this anybody else besides yourself, unless you want to be like a leader of an army of some such, right? A leader of some type of brigade, some type of revolutionary, like you a revolutionary brother. You want to lead some shit like that. You want to change the way the law of the land, shit like that, right? But on your average, but that's one off type of people. So on your average everyday man, you don't have to worry about anything dealing with leadership or anything dealing with emotional, unless it's dealing with a woman, because then when women create children, then you would create family, then we create a society and a community. So then through women, then comes children. You have to worry about society, community, and all these other such things that you have to consider being a leader of. So with that being said, just as much as it's important to worry about your finances and your physically capability, I think it's important to just pay attention to being emotionally sound without a woman, not just emotionally sound because you're dealing with a woman, but emotionally sound uh, even without a woman, because it kind of goes back to Jalen, what Jalen said. Even though I didn't agree with everything she said, like on the aggressive side, if you learn how to control yourself emotionally, dealing with anything, right? That's good, bad, or indifferent, right? That's just having like empathy. You learn sympathy. You learn when to feel remorse. You learn when to be aggressive. You learn when to be assertive. Like all these emotionally sound things it takes and require to be a full man. Have those things sound before seriously bringing a woman into your life.
That's a bar. I like it. That's a bar.
That's it. That's my
That's a
solution.
bar. What you got, CJ?
Man, solutions for the woman's complaints. Half them shits won't even valid. I would say, man, if they give complaints, as soon as they bring them up, have the talk. If you like, just have the sit down, have the talk, gain understanding, listen, comprehend, listen to understand, and see if y'all can come with a solution for it. Because sometimes somebody can give complaints, and to you, either you didn't realize it to be an issue, or now that you know it's an issue, you don't have the first idea of how to solve it. So maybe y'all need to work together to solve it. And if y'all a couple, and if y'all serious and y'all plan on going to that next level in relationship, like marriage and whatnot, this is a great test right here, trying to solve the issue that y'all got together. So I would just say, if your partner, your person that you with, gives you a complaint or an issue that they have that seems more warranted, not something as simple as, oh, you're into the trash out for the third week in a row, or third, you know what I'm saying? But like something more serious that's very detrimental to the relationship, definitely take time to actually listen and comprehend it, and then both of y'all come up with a good solution on trying to resolve that issue before shit gets worse.
I like it. I like it. I like it, man. I think it's one of the few shows where, like I said, I think y'all covered all fronts, man. I think that the women gave some solid perspectives. They gave us a context we needed as men to process it. I think we did a pretty good job working through it and finding solutions for those that might be on the side of that problem. I think in totality, when it comes to leadership, emotional availability, back to Saudi's point, I definitely lean and agree on that. It really starts with the self. A lot of this starts with the self, self confidence, self respect, all of that stuff that you do. And this is, I think, the biggest issue. And I'll say this because it leads to our next show. I think that what happens is when we're single, we think single is synonymous with selfish. So the time that you're not with someone, you're not really doing the work to prep yourself to be with someone. you've kind of made it so that your life is your life as men, and we kind of get in our habits and our ways, right? Rightfully so. We don't answer nobody, right? And I think that what happens is that that transition when you go from being single to being in a relationship, it can lead to a woman not knowing what she wants and not
I'm like, am I tripping or no?
That's a crazy way to freeze.
check, check, check. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
can.
good.
Hold on, give me 1 second. My phone died on me. So while I
Yo,
was
that was
saying
a killer pose, bro. That was the freeze pose was crazy.
yeah, that was definitely wicked. I apologize. But like I was saying, my phone died. But again, back to the point, I think that if if as a man you've gotten in your own ways, I think that the best way to do the work is to self-evaluate, understand that you're making room for somebody else. Women aren't like men, don't expect them to be. Take their complaints, uh, internalize them, figure out what's fair, what makes sense, try to make some adjustments, right? Just make sure you can look at yourself in the mirror. Just how you look at yourself with pride as a single man, you should be able to have the same pride as a man in a relationship. Don't lose yourself in these adjustments and changes, and that's for men and women, but be fair. Do the work, do the self-assessment, you'll be just fine. With that being said, we'll see y'all Thursday where we're gonna
Hey,
get
hey,
to
can I say
what,
something real quick? Can I say something real quick and
what's
shit
up.
and all that? I had seen,
Damn, they got him too, didn't they?
This is crazy.
Yeah, I'm actually fucking my phone up now. That shit wicked. My phone normally never dies, but this is the one day I didn't.
damn, I'm about to say, hey, look, I know I be random. I can't even lie, but I just want to tell the audience, be patient with Bino. Bino is fresh from getting his shoes dirty from outside. A lot of these questions be asked. I ain't never really had to, like, I don't be knowing the show before it happened, right? And I ain't pleading. I'm just saying y'all gotta fuck with me because look, I'm doing this shit freestyle. Like I was in the studio like Lil Wayne. So shit gonna be like a ramble with your boy, but fuck with SPS podcast and Bino as a panelist. You know what I'm saying? Because these questions that's being asked, y'all get to sit around on YouTube for 5 years talk about this shit. I'm fresh from getting my shoes dirty. So I appreciate everybody though, and I appreciate
Look,
each
hey,
other.
look, we
You know what I'm
really, we,
saying?
we really not. We still babies to this shit for real,
Yeah,
for
I'm a
real.
I know.
baby, man. Be
I
patient
know
with
I
me,
am.
be patient with me. I need some help, baby. Can you help me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I said, football, man, we definitely we appreciate all the grace, man. Like y'all be keeping us level set, man. We appreciate everybody in the comments, man. Like
Nah, for
we're
sure. I
still
love
trying
all the
to be.
criticism too, man. Help me with
We love
that.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I know
like
I'll
I
be
said,
around there. This
we
thing,
we
the
definitely.
questions you be asking, nigga, like goddamn. If you don't ramble, you a professional.
The questions you be asking, I really be needing a second to even process the question.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know. I just wanted to plead my case to the audience because I don't want to be like this nigga here. You know what I'm
But no,
saying? But
I feel
yeah,
like the audience definitely turned us up tonight. They was definitely showing love. They was
I
definitely
appreciate
for
it.
just
sure, for sure.
Yeah, man.
And
Man,
like I
look,
said,
let me just say this, man.
go ahead.
I was trying to be chill, you know, mainly because a nigga done ate food and kicked in. I just almost hit me in my face about an hour ago. So, but real shit, fuck that list, man. Like, yeah, y'all can say it's warrant, it's valid. Like, oh, these women complaining about this, do they make sense? But in reality, man, if you really complaining about all that shit, you should have left that motherfucker a long time ago. Half that shit you probably saw at the very fucking beginning. Y'all just wanted, y'all was delusional, won't pay no attention, and let that nigga do all that dumb shit. You let it ride until you got tired of letting it ride. Like, that's all that shit was. Now you want to complain about it. And half of y'all probably was
Yeah.
complaining after y'all popped a baby or two. Found out he was a deadbeat ass nigga also. See, look, now you want to talk about everything about the man. But a few years
I ain't
ago,
gonna
he was a good nigga.
I ain't gonna front, CJ. You know, if American society, if the women in American society was more content with being poly, they wouldn't have as many complaints because more men that's you know that's positioned to raise healthy families and multiple ones from different women could get their rocks off, right? But they are forced to be monogamous. Not really forced, but society forces them to be in this like that's a whole nother conversation we need to have. Like
A whole nother conversation for
the
a whole nother day.
social idealism we have in America fucks up a lot of this shit. Because point quite frankly, man, it's way women and men. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of men is not going to never amount up, right? It's going to be people that falls on the wayside. That's point blank, period. Even in the Bible, only 1/3 is going to make it to whatever this heaven is that the Bible says. And when I say, I'm not saying I think of the Bible like that, but a lot of people don't believe in the Bible. So whatever that heaven is, 1/3 is going to make it. You feel what I'm saying? So if you transgress that over to our life, like women probably need to be more accepting of the whole poly idea.
So I agree with you, Bino. But when it comes to the man, I need for them to know that it's more into poly than just the benefits and
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We're not talking about say. That's why I said the man that's capable of having
yes.
multiple women and we're raising
But even
multiple
though you said
healthy.
that, ain't no niggas hear that. They just heard poly.
Yeah, I mean, I can't help what they hear. I make sure I clarify that poly don't mean
I
you
just
just
want to
get to have
clarify it again
5
so
women
you hear
that
what I'm
have
saying.
sex. Like, nah, it means it's a thing for real. But what I'm saying is some dudes gonna fall, way short strata, and a lot of women gonna fall way short. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like this one-on-one idea, like every man gonna find that woman. I don't know. We just can have plenty of conversations about this shit. Like
Cause
I really want to talk
we need a
about the
5 minute.
whole American society social ideology that we have, and is that really the trick in the bag? Really, the whole ideology period, is that the trick in the bag when
Is
it
that the
comes to
cheat
America?
code? It
I
may
No,
think
be.
is that the trick? Our whole American society ideology, is that the whole fucking trick for majority at the end of the day? Because
I
the way
think
I feel like it's set up, like the rich gonna be rich, right? It's only 1% that's gonna be rich. There's only 1% that's gonna be in that top percentile in America. Everybody talks about getting money and being wealthy and rich, but only 1% literally actually is that. But yet
I got
everybody
one.
wanna chase it.
I got one counterpoint to your point because I give you a point, Mayor. I think that
what
where
I'm talking about.
it
He
kind
paused,
of
niggas.
loses
He
a little
paused.
bit is that you got a lot of men right now that the complaints we had when we did our show, that's dealing with one woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that what your suggestion works for a very small group of qualified men that can multitask that,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I think that to the show we done, this 3-part series, it just proves that we all got work to do. I think you do have a point that's going to probably
No,
rise more.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know who that man is. I couldn't do poly. You feel me? I couldn't do that shit.
Yeah,
But
that's
what
not
I'm
our shit.
saying is, bro, like you
Hmm.
feel me? What I'm saying is, it's just crazy, bro. Because it's like we can have these shows. It's 10,000 of them on YouTube, right? But reality of it is, it's people that's gonna fall way short, regardless of the conversation we had. The reality is, it's people, women, and men that's gonna fall way short of all these solutions, right? So it's like I
Yeah.
don't know. Then they get to a numbers game. Then they get to stats, and then it's like I'm starting to think like this from doing shows with you or from listening to other shows. It's like, bro, is it really even a solution to this? Like, cause we asking a Saudi to do the same thing as a sexy red. That don't even fucking make sense to me.
I think that again, I say this all the time, man. YouTube is a buffet of knowledge and solutions. I think we are
Mm.
with one good soul food meal. You know what I'm saying? In our little southern corner, the people that watch us, like we don't claim to have all the answers. We just gonna literally be the meat and potatoes. Like I think that's what the show is. We're the meat and potatoes. We're gonna strip off all the bullshit, get past the politics as usual, and have the conversation as balanced as we can, bro. But like you said, that's got to be enough for now, right? I don't think any one person, one pod is going to have it all figured out. But I think that, credit to y'all, you know what I'm saying? Credit to what we do as a family over here. I think we do a pretty good job of balancing each other out. We get a real, we're going to, no cut, no chaser. We know how to keep it balanced too, to where it don't seem like it's too wild one way or another. And, that's why y'all family. type shit, right?
Hey, no time soon, right? You can do it, but I'm gonna dive deep into the whole social ideology in America and the separated countries and why socially we feel most. I don't know. Maybe we just the most loud. We feel most like I don't even. I think we complaining. I think we petty as fuck in America, for real, for real.
Oh,
Compared to
that's
other
weird.
countries, poly, molly, religion, relationships, all this shit. I think we are very spoiled culture, and I like to have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because I think people like how like King like T.I. son ain't realize or whoever, like they don't realize they spoiled till you take them to the hood and see what other people don't have. I
Yeah,
think we just like a spoiled culture when we just have all these things, and I think we real petty. So I don't know. I'm just talking, bro, but we're gonna have many shows to talk about a lot of shit. So I just want us having a conversation in real time make me come up with different shit in my head. That's all.
yeah, for sure, for sure. We already got one. Again, make sure y'all tune in Thursday at 7 p.m. We will be talking about how do we transition from being single and independent, men and women, to being interdependent in relationships. So make sure y'all tap in. Again, we're going to transition from both. Again, I think we've done a pretty good job addressing the issues of both. Again, go back. If you have it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe first. But if you have it, check out the other parts of the series where we actually did a balanced conversation. We got the men concerns, and then we just addressed the women. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. We will see you all back here Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's the Raw Bunch standing on business. We'll holler at y'all Thursday. You heard
Not
It
me?
we
ain't your
finally get
birthday. What the
balloons
fuck?
at the
The
end of the
balloons
show.
come back. Who got the balloons? Who
I
sending
don't
the
know.
balloons?
I never know how that works. They just pop up.
Whoever
Yeah.
put balloons on my shit earlier, don't do that shit no
We'll
more, man.
put
I
the
don't
Yeah,
even
You
play
please
do
with
it
do
balloons.
it for
yourself.
me. I like the balloons.
I
You do
don't
it
like the
yourself.
damn balloons. I don't like the balloons.
love. We'll see y'all later. Peace.
All right.